So, all right, you guys, really quickly, if you did not know, this is the first time you've seen me, let me do my little introduction real quick. I'm going to put on my YouTube voice. So, hey guys, I'm Ashley Pickens. I've been in real estate since 2006. Um, I was 21, so y'all can do the math on that. I got my license at 21 in 2006. I became a broker shortly after that over a firm with agents. And then what most of y'all know me for is I'm your auction mama. I have been auctioning off foreclosures at the courthouse. Look, I always say I'm going to share, but let me put my big face back in the camera. So I auction off properties at the courthouse. I am that person that says going once, going twice, sold. So a lot of people always ask me, do I talk super fast? Do I do all of that? I do not. I don't talk super fast. A lot of people are like, when I say that I'm an auctioneer, they ask like, I don't think people realize that I'm the auctioneer. When I go to the auction, people are like, what are you bidding on? What did you buy? I'm the person that conducts the auction. Like I said, I'm the one that says going once, going twice, sold. I auction here in Memphis, Tennessee, from here to Nashville, and then parts of Mississippi. Um, Actually, last week, about a week ago, I had to update my auction coverage because the company called me and asked me what I wanted to cover in 2025. And she said, you are going to be swamped in 2025, giving you a heads up. She said, tell me what area you want to cover right now. And so I cover from Shelby County to, which is Memphis, and then to Nashville. So from Memphis to Nashville, about 3 hours out, and then about an hour into Mississippi. So a heads up to everybody. So if I'm going to be busy, that's a heads up to what's going to go on. So just a little bit about me. I'm going to share my screen again. So, okay. Shout out to everybody who's on YouTube. Usually when I share my screen on YouTube, I'll be like, blink if you can see my screen. So I see people in the chat typing blink in case y'all had no idea what that means. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my YouTube family. Y'all know I love you. So here we go. Let's jump in. Hopefully, like I said, you learned some things at the end. I will definitely answer questions for you. And look, fancy. Okay, so let's jump in, you guys. Today, so the whole point of this masterclass is to teach you about the phases of foreclosure. I think when people hear foreclosure, they think bank-owned properties, and they don't understand the phases that a property goes through once it gets into the foreclosure process. It's 3 phases of foreclosure when a homeowner gets behind. We're going to go through each phase in this masterclass, and then you'll figure out which phase you want to jump in on, which one's right for you. And I'll give you tips, ideas of how to get in on each level, or you figure out which one works best for you. So let's get started, you guys. You know, you can't find something new on Canva, right? Because I'm going to run it in the ground, trust and believe. So next up, like I said about me, I have slides, but you guys, I just talk honestly. I really don't need slides. I already told you I've been in real estate. You guys, I've sold. At this point, I have no idea how many houses I have auctioned off. The cheapest house being $500. That was the cheapest house I ever auctioned off. It was $500. And when I tell y'all, I didn't have anybody at the auction to buy it. When I got the opening bid, it took so long. I tell this story all the time. It took so long. If you've heard this story, just act like it's new. I was literally at the courthouse waiting on the opening bid. I get to the courthouse. Of course, nobody's there because the opening bid had not come out yet. So they call me. They're like, the opening bid is $500. I'm like, nobody's at the auction. So y'all, I posted on Facebook. I'm like, y'all, I'm at the auction. The opening bid is $500. Y'all, everybody on Facebook was like, let me Cash App you. Let me Venmo you. I'll send you $500. But you got to be present to go to the auction. So you can't send me money. So crazy. So I caught an investor coming out of the courthouse And he was like, you auction? I'm like, yeah, I got a property for 500. He was like, let me get it. So anyway, $500. I've had a couple of those as my cheapest properties being auctioned off. So one more thing that I want to say. I'm an auctioneer. I've been auctioning for about 8 years at this point. I started making videos and master classes and hosting these master classes because I know the auction arena is very hush hush. It can still be very underground. A lot of people, and I realize that, because a lot of us, look, see, I told you I'd be trying to share my screen, but I just want to talk, honestly. So most people have heard about auctions. Most people have heard that they auction off properties at the courthouse. Like we've heard that. But if you ask the average person, they don't know what property is up for auction, what time the auction is, how much it costs, how do you pay for it. You don't know any of that information. You've just heard, I heard they auction off properties. So once I realized that, and I kept seeing the same people at the auction here in Shelby County, it's like 6 people at the auction every time I go. And so I'm like, especially when I got that $500 deal, I was like, I got to share the good news with people, right? So that's when I started making videos and I started sharing everything about auctions. So at least y'all can find out and get in on this. So that's where this all kind of started. Okay, let me try to share my screen again and let me try to stay on topic, on task. Y'all just be like, Ashley, stay on task because I can get off sometimes. Okay, let's try this again. We'll get through it. So, boom. Before we jump in, boom. Okay. I like to show you because when you hear about foreclosures, most people are like, there's no foreclosures. Why are you talking about foreclosures? I've been talking about foreclosures for years, right? Especially since I became an auctioneer, right? And so a lot of people, including agents, including people, no shade, because I'm an agent, been an agent forever, just don't talk about foreclosures. Like if you bring it up, people are like, there are no foreclosures. For the record, everybody, I have been auctioning every single week for probably the last 7 years. Every week. I've auctioned every single week. Now, does that mean that I'm auctioning off tons of properties? No, but I auction every single week, you guys. So there are foreclosures. That is the circle of life when it comes to real estate. And I always say that people buy houses, people sell houses, and people lose their house. That's just the circle of life in real estate. Okay, so let's have a little snapshot of where we are as far as real estate market right now in foreclosures. I didn't say this to start off with, but you guys, I specialize in the distressed market, if you didn't know that. First of all, I specialize in the distressed market and I work with investors. I worked with residential single family homeowners for years and years and years. And then I kind of pivoted to investors, right? So I focus on the distressed market. So if you see a video I put out, a reel, anything, it's going to be the distressed market. Okay. So let's talk about what's going on in the market right now in case you have no idea. And if you watch the news, you think everything's like pink starbursts and sunflowers right now. So these are November numbers. If you ask me how I feel about numbers and stats, you'll understand that they are what they are, right? I believe most of these numbers are much higher than what we're seeing in articles, but we'll go with what they have. So for November, we had 29,000 properties had foreclosure filings in November. That means they were somewhere in the foreclosure process, and we're going to go through it. They either had a notice of default, they were behind on their mortgage, and they filed the notice of default. They either had an auction scheduled or their home had been repossessed. Okay, so about 30,000 properties in November was somewhere in the foreclosure process. Lenders started the foreclosure process on 20,000 properties in November. They repossessed, which is an REO for people who don't know. If a property goes up for auction, don't worry. I'm going to teach you. Don't worry. They repossessed a little over 3,000 properties through completed foreclosure known as REO, which is a drop in the bucket, honestly. I'm not being insensitive, but 3,000 doesn't, isn't a large number. States that have the greatest number of REOs in November. Let me know if you see your state, you guys. We've got New York with 223. California had 402. Pennsylvania had 160. Illinois had 206. And Texas had 232 REO. These are bank-owned properties, okay? Homes that made it all the way through the foreclosure process. So, some other stats that I don't think are getting any attention, honestly. And I'll tell you where we are, but I'll also tell you where we came from. So you're kind of like, so you have something to compare it to. Okay. So January of last year, we are in December 2024. January of last year, we had 4.5 million homeowners behind and 5.2 million renters behind. January of last year. December of last year, you can't see because my face in it. December of last year. So from January all the way through to December, 4.5 million homeowners were behind and 5.3 million renters were behind. Okay. That's coming out of COVID. Numbers were ridiculous, but we all know that when people, lost their jobs, everybody went into forbearance, a moratorium. So this is 3 years later. So that was December 2023. Keep going. March. So this year, you guys, 4.2 million homeowners behind, 5.3 million renters. September. So I'm not going to go through all the months, but here is the actual HUD article that I always do videos. If you follow me, I put this article, I do a video on this every single month. So September, we had 12.8% or 5.9, almost 6 million renter households were behind on their rental payments, you guys. 4.4% or 2 million renter households feared eviction was imminent in the next 2 months. Again, I'm kind of like, if 6 million renters behind, why aren't 6 million renters fearing eviction? But, that's just my thinking. I don't know. And approximately 5.9% or 4.87 million homeowner households reported being behind on their mortgage payments in September. Here's November. Y'all, I know I took a breath right there because y'all know how I feel about these numbers, honestly. So here we are, November, 4.8 million homeowners behind and 5.9 million renters behind. That's basically currently what's going on. So looking at these numbers, a whole lot has not changed in the last 2 years. And I will tell you that I have followed these numbers for a long time, at least since COVID. And these numbers have not changed in the last we're about to go into 5 years, going into 2025 since COVID. We have had the same number of people behind on their mortgage. And I talk to these people all the time, people who have not paid their mortgage in 2, 3, 4 years. It's a lot of people. And if you ask me if I believe these numbers are on the low side, I'm going to say yes. Y'all, they put out an article all the time talking about how many people are 90 plus days past due and not in foreclosure. So, and I see people like that all the time. So these numbers, the point is we have 10 million people that have not paid for housing probably in the last 4 years. And if you think about renters, I always think like, so what does that mean for investors? What does that mean for landlords who are in these properties, right? And I had a client call me who she got my letter in the mail and she was renting. She got my letter because her landlord had not paid and her landlord was in foreclosure. And so she was like, I've been paying I pay every month for she'd been living in that house like 5 years. And he had not been paying. And so her house was in foreclosure and she was the renter. So I'm like, I wonder how many people are like that. So if you rent, and be very careful, right? Look at me as I get back into the screen again. If you start getting a lot of mail to your house, look, these are some things that renters should look for. If you start getting a lot of mail to your house, people driving by slow, you don't know what's going on, your property might be in foreclosure. It's a lot of people who have no idea. Maybe put your address in Zillow and see if it pop up pre-foreclosure or something like that. But just be mindful. Just be mindful. I see. Y'all, see, that's why I can't look at the chat. Precious said, what social media platform do real estate investors hang out on the most? I don't know, y'all. I don't know what platform. I don't know what platform. I guess real estate meetup groups. I don't know. YouTube. I don't know. Go to the auction. And so what I would say, go, that's where you can find some, or start a meetup group. See, that's why I can't look at the chat, because I get distracted and then I'm trying to answer questions. So let's keep going. So today, like I said, I focused on distressed properties. Okay, so today we are talking pre-foreclosures, REOs, and auctions. But short sales, heirship, tax lien deeds, absentee owners, those are all parts of the distressed market. I primarily focus on pre-foreclosures, of course, auctions, y'all know, because I'm your auction mama. Heirship properties, I do work heirship, probate. I did a short sale this year. So all of them, but I really don't focus on bankruptcy or anything like that. But today we'll be focusing on pre-foreclosure, auction, and REO. Okay, you guys, so let's jump in. Hold on, let me do my curtain. Okay, so here we go. Y'all are like, Ashley, you're doing too much. I know, I do too much sometimes. So once upon a time, don't worry, we're not really going to have story time, but once upon a time, look, I put y'all back on the screen. Let me not, so y'all can see. Meet Steve, you guys. I'm going to make sure this is quick and easy and painless so y'all understand how this goes. Steve looks like a great businessman, but Steve was a small business owner who struggled after the rise of interest rates and increased cost of running his business. So Steve looking out the mirror and he out the window, probably about to go sit in his car for an hour and be stressed out. Steve blood pressure is high. Okay. He fell behind on his mortgage payments by 3 months. Okay. Follow along with me. And received a certified letter from the bank notifying him that he is behind and he about to be in foreclosure. Okay. He is behind on his mortgage. They have not yet filed that notice of default or notice of sale. There are people who are behind like years and they are not in foreclosure. Okay. So this is the first phase, pre-foreclosure. What is pre-foreclosure, you guys? That's that initial stage in the foreclosure process when a homeowner falls behind on their mortgage, like I said. So the homeowner, and I'm going to stress this, but just so you understand, because I saw when you did the poll, a lot of y'all were like, I want to know about pre-foreclosures. I want to know about wholesaling. So I'm stressing certain parts so you know. Okay. So pre-foreclosure, Steve is still in that house. He is just not making payments. Okay. He's just struggling, right? He living paycheck to paycheck, robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay. So Steve is still the homeowner. Okay. Homeowner still owns the property, but he is behind on his mortgage. Okay. And the lender basically notifies the homeowner of the delinquency. Okay. So where do we find pre-foreclosures, you guys? There's a bunch of different places that you can find them. I listed them here. Zillow, I think you can filter them for pre-foreclosure. Auction websites. And at the end, we can walk through some of these. Y'all know, if you know me, PropWire is one of my favorite systems. We can walk through that at the end for those who still stick around. Foreclosure.com is another great website to find pre-foreclosures and county public notices. Okay, let's keep going. So when you find public notices, a lot of people are like, how do you find those? Honestly, I see them a lot of times in smaller publications, like smaller papers or newspapers that you might can find. You can Google like your county. I live in Shelby County. You can put in Shelby County public notice. If you live in Bibb County, Gwinnett County, Fulton, or Cook County, put in Cook County public notices and you might can find them like that. You just got to dig for them. But again, if you use like PropWire or something like that, you won't have to do that. So this is what a public notice looks like, you guys. And if your name is on this list, y'all, forgive me. I'm sorry. I did not mean to put your business all out on blast. These notices, this is for Nashville right here. This is what Nashville, they put their public notices in what is called the Tennessee Ledger, their newspaper. And this came out February 27th. So that was a couple days ago, Friday. What is today? Sunday. So these came out Friday. Nashville posts their foreclosures on Friday. So this is what the public notices would look like, okay? And it has the date of their first notice and their advertised auction date. Everybody's still with me. Y'all, I can't see the chat. I don't know if y'all are talking to me or not. Everybody's still with me on this? Yes. Okay. Okay, y'all are answering the question about where do real estate agents hang out? I got you. Okay. Now, for everybody who wants to know how you reach out to homeowners in distress, right? Because y'all want to know about pre-foreclosures. That is what y'all are on me about. I think it's because y'all see me mailing my letters. So y'all are like, Ashley, what do you do? So there are different ways you can reach out to people who are in foreclosure. And I know some of y'all are on here like, why do people want to reach out to homeowners in foreclosure? A lot of people, look, let me hold your hand. A lot of people reach out to homeowners in pre-foreclosure, to help them or see if they might want to sell their house, that kind of thing, right? I know all the investors, wholesalers, real estate agents on here are like, because we want to sell their house. That's what it is. So how do you reach out to homeowners in distress? There's so many ways, you guys. Direct mail. If you know me, you know I mail letters. I've been mailing letters for the past 3 years, every single week. Real quick disclaimer. As we go through here, if I have a resource that you can use, I will let y'all know what it is. If I don't have a resource, you guys, maybe I'll try to come up with one. So anything that I have that will help you, I'll filter it through here to let you know. But direct mail, you guys, I mail to homeowners that are in foreclosure. You can call, y'all, I will call them. Everybody should be proud that I have started cold calling, right? I should have a little button for applause, but I don't have one. Cold calling. I know it's some of y'all out here who are door knocking. Be very careful. I don't door knock. I live in Memphis. Okay. So it just depends. You can send a message in a bottle. You can send a pigeon with a letter if you want to. My whole point is when you reach out to homeowners in distress, you guys, be consistent. You see, I have these little hearts in here because if you know me, you know what my methodology is. Lead with love. Okay. That is my methodology. It does not have to be yours, but dealing with homeowners that are in distress, lead with love, have some kind of empathy. I know some people are just, I've seen intimidation, tactics. I see all that. My method is I do lead with love with everything that I do. So, I mean, if y'all are, intimidating, but I try to lead with love when I talk to people who are in this situation. So direct mail, cold calling, door knocking, text messaging, whatever, works for you, do it consistently.
No, it's a Zoom call. I mean, she's just talking about foreclosures and damn, them got hit hard.
Let me put him on mute. I guess he must have hit the mute button. McNair.
She's just hosting it. She's talking about foreclosures. Not like, I don't know foreclosures backwards and forwards.
McNair Wagner.
I mean, I'm more interested in listening to Ashley about REOs.
He is not on.
It's on. Let's see if we can. She has everybody on mute.
Get him on mute. Let's mute everybody. Hold on. Let's see. You're not on mute, McNair Wagner. So let's keep going. Okay, you guys.
Just mute my audio.
McNair, you're not on mute. So let's keep going, you guys, and then we'll figure that out. All right. So how do you buy pre-foreclosures? Keep in mind, like I said already, who is the owner of the property right now? It's the homeowner. A lot of y'all, when people are in like pre-foreclosure or foreclosure, y'all are like, Ashley, can I talk to you, the auctioneer? Ashley, can I talk to the bank or the trustee? Can I send them an offer? When a homeowner is in pre-foreclosure, they are still the decision maker. Okay. So in order for you to purchase that house, you have to talk to the homeowner. Okay. I put in here approach with empathy, lead with love. And it's the same way. So a lot of y'all are like, how do I buy a pre-foreclosure? You guys, it's the same way as if they put their house on the market, right? It's the same exact way. Traditional financing. The homeowner is the decision maker. So you can use FHA, conventional, hard money, cash. It's typical home buying process. It's like if they would have put it on the market, okay? Except they haven't, and you reached out to them to work with them directly, okay? So keep that in mind. Any questions? Any questions? I'm gonna look at the chat. Any questions? Also, when you talk directly to the homeowner, we'll go into the differences between buying pre-foreclosures and auctions. You can get a home inspection, okay? You can do your due diligence, right? And I suggest that you do that. It's like buying a traditional property. Do your due diligence, get a home inspection, do all your title searches, do everything that you would do in a typical deal, okay? Even when you buy a pre-foreclosure or you buy it from the homeowner, you have a closing process, right? You have a closing attorney. They do everything. They do the paperwork. You go in and sign, the homeowner signs. It's the same traditional process, okay, you guys? So do everything you would do. Home inspection, run title, do everything that you would do. If you need to get a termite letter, if you want to have somebody come out and inspect a foundation, do all of those things. Okay. So I'm checking the chat for any questions. Y'all have any questions that I'm missing? What is your average on getting response back from your mailing? So a lot of people ask that. So I mail at such a large scale. That's the word I was looking for. I mail at such a high scale that usually I'm going to get a response back. I don't just mail is what I'm saying. I do other methods as well. If y'all know, I get on the phone, I will cold call. I'll mail, I'll cold call. I have other systems that I have in place to reach out. So I think doing a combination of all those things gets me the response rate. Can you cover how you would talk to the homeowner when doing a wholesale? So look, let me think about that. I got you. Hold on. Marianne, I got you. Do you use a PO box? A lot of people ask me that. I don't personally use one, but I think you can, as long as you use something because when you mail, some of them are going to come back. Okay. And so if you know me, hold on, look, because I'm going to blow my screen up so I can see everything. Stop share. Okay. So real quick, since we're here and y'all are asking, y'all know that I send the same letter every time I mail. Okay. I don't change this. I don't say hello, Jennifer. I don't say hello, Mr. Smith. All my letters are exactly the same. So I can print out 50, 100 of them and then mail them. The only thing that I do is I hand address all of my envelopes because it's just, you have a better open rate for a hand addressed envelope. But all my letters are exactly the same. Okay. Because we don't have time to be typing out and printing out. But my point is, when you asked about a PO box, you're always going to get some letters that come back to you. Always. Because people are moved, people have walked away from their house, it's vacant. So the letters will come back to you. But like I said, since I use the same letter, if a letter comes back to me, all I do is open it up, take that letter out, and put it in a new envelope. So that's why I say, make sure it's something you check if you do a PO box wherever you want to mail it to. Because, ink and paper can be expensive. That's all I'm saying. So, okay. So going forward, let me check the chat for you. What's your average monthly marketing budget for mailers? So for me, I try to keep all my budget kind of low. I buy everything basically off of Amazon. I'm looking over because I'm looking at everything I have. I get envelopes, and I tell y'all, don't overthink this. Don't overthink this. I get my envelopes from Amazon. It's like a package of 250 for like $15. And so they come in. That's the other thing, you guys. You have to use bright colored envelopes. I don't ever send white envelopes. White envelopes look like bills. And we know people not opening bills. So use a bright color envelope, especially during the holidays. It's been really good because people think it's like a Christmas card. But don't overthink this. A lot of y'all have like analysis paralysis. Go to Dollar Tree and get some green envelopes and mail them. Okay. It's not that crucial. If you want to mail all green, that can be your color, all yellow. Just don't do white. Don't overthink it. Okay. Um, so I mail, which is letters. I print all my letters at home. Of course, stamps. Now, stamps, stamps, they just went up. If y'all didn't know, the post office stamps just went up to, I think they're like $73 for a roll of 100. So factor in stamps. But I mean, the return on investment, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Return on investment, if you get one good deal, that pays for everything, honestly. And I always want to say, you guys, because a lot of y'all are like, I had a little slide for this. If you don't have any money, right? Because I don't want to act like everybody's rolling in money. If you don't have any money, y'all pick up the phone and call, right? And I know that's going to be something some of y'all don't want to do. Y'all don't want to cold call, but you can't be broke and don't want to work. You got to pick a struggle, okay? Pick a struggle. So you can't not have money and not want to work, right? So you're going to have to call. You're just going to have to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to take a couple of no's. You might get cursed out a couple of times, but you're going to have to pick a struggle, okay? So if you don't have money to send letters, you don't have money to do that, you're going to have to pick up the phone and just call, okay? Pick a struggle. So I talk to y'all like your big sister mom kind of thing, okay? You got to choose. Thank you. You got to pick one. So, and I mean, if I have to be honest, when I know the guys doing big numbers, doing 6 figures a month, they're picking up the phones calling. They are on the phone. Those are the ones making coins, honestly. Look, let me say this. I always say this. Scammers make 173 phone calls a day. Okay. I watched a documentary on Hulu. So, not that I'm condoning scammers at all. I'm just talking about their work ethic. 173 phone calls a day. So, on the level from 1 to scammer, you guys pick a level. You're going to have to do some work. Okay. Where are you on that range? So, can foreigners invest in auction properties in the US? Yes, they can. Okay, so we'll get to auctions and talk about that because at the auctions, I only take cash. Okay, so if somebody can bid for you, I'm answering questions. When we join PropWire, how do we get the free 5,000 skip traces? I got to put my link in the chat for y'all to get your, and we can go through PropWire too. This is really turning into a YouTube live. Can I do a masterclass for that topic instead of here? Which one, Marianne? Y'all want me to talk about marketing? That's what y'all want me to talk about, marketing. So let me get through these slides, you guys, and then I'll talk about what y'all want to talk about because some people are new to this. They're trying to figure it out. My prediction for 2025, you guys, 2025 going to be rougher than 2024. So if you are a real estate agent, I suggest you have to kick in your work ethic a little bit harder. It's all I'm saying. If you struggled in 2024, 2025 probably going to be a little bit worse. So we already talked about how to buy pre-foreclosures. Okay, so next up, realtors. I'm a real estate agent too, and I work with, like I said, people in pre-foreclosures. Y'all talk to the lender. If you are a real estate agent and you have a client that is in foreclosure and they call you and they say, I want to sell my house, right? They're like, I want to sell. You find out they're in foreclosure. You guys do not try to outrun an auction, okay? Don't do it. I see it all the time. If I see a property go on the market and I know it's on the foreclosure list, I will try to reach out to that agent. Any property that go through foreclosure in Memphis, 9 times out of 10, I know about it. So I see it all the time. I see an agent, I got a brand new listing, they put it on the market. It's on my schedule to auction off. I've had to call people and I'm like, your new listing is going up for auction on Friday. And they'll be like, I knew she was in foreclosure. She didn't tell me how soon. I thought that's what's going on, right? So I would say what I do with my clients is, y'all, I talk to the lender. I'm like, they'll conference me in on three-way. They'll give me authorization to talk to them. Do not try to outrun an auction. Okay. I feel like that's not fair to a buyer. You know what I mean? Like, you get a buyer, you get an offer on the property, they're doing inspections, they got movers scheduled, and then that property goes up for auction. Y'all, the buyer is out of luck, right? So don't just talk to the bank. A lot of times the lender, if they see that the homeowner is trying to sell the property, they will work with you. Okay. They will work with you. Okay. So just know that. Any questions on that? I'll talk to you on that. So y'all are like, what do I have? All the letters. I got all the letters because y'all are like, what do I send? I have probate letters, pre-foreclosure letters, vacant and abandoned home letters. Okay. I have examples for you. The newest, the greatest thing I just came out with. Shout out to everybody who's already gotten it that y'all are waiting on forever. I made door hangers for my people who go out and, you know, work pre-foreclosures, and brochures. They are included in the last bundle. You can craft them any way you want to craft them, which I think this is really cute. I know y'all are like, what kind of masterclass is this? Ashley just talked to us like we on FaceTime together, but it is. So my motto is always lead with love. Okay. So I made these door hangers. I made all this. I always design everything I have. I design it myself. You see, it's a door hanger that says every storm runs out of rain. So if I have a homeowner that's in foreclosure and I know they got an auction scheduled, I will go put this on their door. Now, you can craft this and make it say, I know you in foreclosure, call me. If that's your method, okay. My method is lead with love. Okay. And then on the back of it, it has like all their options. You can short sale, you can do this. So this comes in the ultimate outreach bundle, you guys, and you can craft this and print them out and all that. So just wanted to let you know, but lead with love. Okay, please. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. When you are talking to the lender, what are you suggesting or asking for your customer? I'm just letting them know that I'm going to sell, that the client wants to sell and not go up for auction. And a lot of times, and I'll say this, like I showed you the stats, a lot of homeowners have not paid in 4 years. So they've lost a lot of credibility with the bank. The bank is not trying to hear them, right? The bank, I'm like, a lot of times, I'm like, when's the last time you talked to the bank? Well, I haven't talked to them in a year. I told him I was going to send them some money. Did you send them some money? No, I didn't send them any money. Okay, so now the bank is like, I'm not trying to hear you. I'm auctioning off your house. So a lot of times it takes me, the real estate agent, saying, hey, I'm here. We're going to sell this house. Give me 30, give me 60 days. And the bank will say, okay. Because a lot of times the bank is not even trying to hear that homeowner, honestly. So you just basically asking them to postpone that auction and give you time to sell. Okay. They gave my client another 60 days to sell. See, they will. A lot of the banks really aren't trying to take these houses from people. Okay. I talked to a guy the other day and I said, how much, he's in foreclosure. I said, how much do you owe? Like, what is your past due amount? And he said $140,000. I was like, 140. I'm like, you haven't paid in like 3-4 years. Right. So, a lot of people have just lost credibility with the bank, is what I'm saying. Do you ever use a skeleton bankruptcy to I have not. I have not, but I know people will file bankruptcy to stop an auction and then go ahead and try to sell it, right? So that is a stalling tactic for sure that people use, for sure, for sure. Okay, you guys, moving right along because y'all know I can get sidetracked. So I'll make sure all the links are in the chat for y'all to get them. So, and if you need my complete foreclosure marketing blueprint, it shows you exactly what I do, you guys. I send letters, I cold call, and I do other things too. Okay. So I have a whole 4-week. When a homeowner goes into foreclosure and they file that first notice of default, it's usually 30 days until their auction. So 30 days, 4 weeks, I hit them every single week all the way up until their auction. Okay. So keep going. Remember Steve. If I see a question, I'll try to answer it in the chat. Remember Steve. Steve's still struggling to pay his mortgage each month. He's behind 3 months. Steve is in foreclosure. They have probably set Steve's auction date. Once you receive that certified letter, it's going to say you are in foreclosure. You have 30 days to pay your mortgage. You have 30 days to catch up. You either catch up or your house goes up for auction. Those are your two options. Okay, so Steve just got that letter. So let me show you some true life examples of what I see when people call me, because I have to make it real so y'all know. So this lady called me. Y'all can see what her past due amount is right there. Y'all, and I've seen, like I said, I had a guy call me who was behind $140,000 past due. So there's one. Here's another one. They are behind. You are 370 days delinquent on your mortgage. So like when I see the numbers like 4 million, 5 million, 6 million people behind, y'all, it's way more people behind on their mortgage than what the numbers are actually showing. It's way more people behind. So they owed $21,028 to bring their mortgage current. Let me share something else with you. A lot of people don't know when it comes to foreclosure. There comes a point where if you talk to people in foreclosure, if you are in foreclosure, there's a point where the mortgage company will not take a partial payment from you anymore. They will want that entire past due balance in order to stop your foreclosure. So if you talk to people and they're like, well, I sent them a payment and they sent me my payment back. That is true. A lot of lenders will send you, a lot of lenders will say, no, we're not taking partial payments. If you can't send us that entire $27,000, we don't want any of it. Okay. So if you hear that, that is true. Okay. So everybody's feeling like they filed chapter 13. Yeah. Did you print the door hang on your printer? If so, what do you? No. So I got it Canva. So I designed it on Canva and Canva will print it for you and send it to you. So that's how I printed mine. Okay. So there's that one. Everybody's still with me. Here's one, you guys, because I always try to share real life. The other thing, when you deal with people in pre-foreclosure or people in foreclosure, I always tell, there's a couple of things that I tell them, right? I need you to request your payoff, right? If you get that far. Okay. Now, one thing with me is I always establish trust. A lot of y'all don't establish trust. Y'all are just like, I want to buy your house. Whoop, there it is. I need to know what the payoff amount is, right? If I'm going to sell your house, I need to know the payoff. My point is this. A lot of people, once they are behind on their mortgage for 6 months, a year, the interest is still accruing. And a lot of people don't know that. So I tell people, order your payoff. This guy right here did not pay for a year. Do y'all see how much his interest is? How much it added to his loan balance, to his payoff? I think my face is blocking that. $40,000 in interest, right? So when I talked to him, he was like, this is how much I think I owe. When he got his payoff, which is this is his payoff for the amount that he had to sell his house for, his interest was for almost $40,000. So that's something to keep in mind. When you're dealing, if you're wholesaling, if you're trying to make an offer or buy somebody's houses in foreclosure, make sure they know how much the payoff is, because they're going to add foreclosure fees. They're going to add attorney fees. Their interest has accrued, y'all, and that payoff will be wrong. You'll be thinking it's this one number and it's a completely different number. Y'all with me? Does that make sense? So I just wanted to share that example with you. And I see that a lot of times, that interest that has built up, the interest does not stop. Let me say that. So y'all like these. So I threw a couple of these in here as well. So here is a property that is up for auction. What's today? The 29th? Up for auction tomorrow, actually. This is on one that is up for auction. I put this as an example because a lot of times y'all are like, it's up for auction. I can't buy it, or I can't talk to the homeowner. You guys, this homeowner is trying to sell before their auction that is tomorrow. And the opening bid, I have it on there, is $253,567. You guys, they need to lower that price so they can get off of it. But the auction is tomorrow. That is my point. If you're a real estate agent, if you are somebody who's dealing with people in foreclosure, make sure the bank knows that you're in the middle of trying to buy it or they want to sell it, okay? Because they'll still auction it off and you be in the middle of a deal, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Would y'all buy this at auction? It looks like it's worth $585. Well, they have it $585. Opening bid is $253. Is that a good deal? Would y'all buy it? Pass? What I'm going to say? Is it a go or is it a no? There we go. Is it a go or no? It's worth $585 and the opening bid is $253. I guess y'all need to see some more pictures, but I'm kind of mad at that first picture they got up, right? That doesn't really do the house justice with the Christmas decorations is the main picture. I don't know. Yeah, I got to check on. Do you know any banks that would lend on foreclosure home? How do you come up with $250,000? Do you know Diana Moncayo? Do you know any banks that would lend on foreclosure homes? How do you come up with 200? So foreclosure as in auction, because if you are talking directly to the homeowner, you can use regular financing. You know what I mean? You can do a FHA, you can do conventional. And foreclosures don't always mean that they need repairs. So if it doesn't need repairs, you can go FHA, you can go conventional. Just because it's in foreclosure, you know, that doesn't automatically change the payment type. Now at the auction, yes, I only take cash at the auction, but pre-foreclosures and bank-owned properties, REOs, you can use financing. Diane, I hope that makes sense. It's a no for you. It's a go for you. Depends on the repairs, depends on the payoff. So, good. Thank you for saying that. A little bit of auction 101. The opening bid is the loan balance. The opening bid is the loan balance. Okay. So that's what they owe the bank. 253. That is probably their payoff. 200 with the foreclosure fees. It's 253,567. That's what I'm going to announce at the auction. So if you were to call them right now and be like, I'll give you 265 for it. That should cover their bid. You know, that should cover their payoff, basically. So just so you know, the opening bid is the loan balance. Okay. So you would have contacted and offered them 350. These are going up for auction tomorrow. It might postpone it. So that's the balance owed to the bank. It looks like a townhome trend investor will bid 450 and knock anyone else out. Is that what they're doing in San Diego? I don't know that market like that. So there's one. So y'all kind of split on it. But that front picture is just not giving what it needs to give. So, okay. Let's keep moving. Steve has 30 days to pay this past due amount. Remember, Steve got that officially. He's in foreclosure, that notice of default. He's got the letter from the lender saying you got 30 days to pay your past due or your house is going up for auction. Here we are. Steve's tried but was unable to pay his mortgage. His home went up for auction. I put down here, depending on where you live, judicial, non-judicial states, the process could take longer. I live in Memphis, Shelby County. I am a non-judicial state. They will file that notice of default on you and take your house in 30 days. Also in Shelby County on trustee sales, I don't have any right of redemption here in Shelby County. So if I auction off your house, you cannot get your house back. There is no right of redemption on trustee sales here in Shelby County. It depends on where you live. We'll talk about that so you know what right of redemption is. But Steve's house is up for auction. Look, there's your auction mama, you guys. Look at that. So, you guys, most of us know what an auction is. Auctions are public events announced through legal notices, public notices, wherever you want to find them, websites. Interested bidders gather to place bids on properties with the highest bidder securing the purchase rights. Who owns the house right now? And that's kind of a tricky one, huh? Just know that even the day of an auction, the morning of, I've done plenty of auctions where the morning of Appalachian, whatever the San Diego house, if they get up in the morning and go file bankruptcy in the morning, that will cancel this auction. that will stop this auction. So they are technically, I would definitely say, still the homeowner for sure. So it happens all the time. People, they probably have filed bankruptcy already. And it will stop an auction. Bankruptcy will immediately stop an auction. So this one sold. Look at that one. I did a reel on this. I don't know if some of y'all saw it, because I get those comments. Only hood houses go up for auction. Y'all, this one sold 2 days ago. 2 days ago. If today the 29th, it sold the 27th. Beverly Hills opening bid was $5 million. It sold for $9.5 million. Yeah, that would have been a good deal for one of y'all to get. I'm just saying. Opening bid, what did I say? The opening bid is the loan balance. The opening bid is the loan balance. They only owed $5 million. They should have sold it. They should have sold that house. I will say this, like I say to anybody and everybody. If you are struggling with your mortgage, you do not see a way out. Every month you trying to borrow people. Y'all know the saying, rob Peter to pay Paul, and it ain't nobody got any money, not Peter or Paul. Sell your house. Sell it. Imagine if they would have just sold their house. Imagine if they would have just sold their house. It went up for auction for $5 million and it sold for $9.5 million. 90210 Beverly Hills. So when I hear people saying only hood houses go up for auction, that's not the truth. Not the truth. And they're saying, like, right now, luxury market, you'll probably start getting good deals on luxury market because everybody, they're sitting. So y'all know me, you better negotiate, especially when you're dealing with the bank. We haven't got there yet, but we will. My motto, we play in limbo. How low can you go when it comes to buying properties from the bank? So, boom, we saying no or it's a go? If we had 10 million, would y'all buy this one? Is that a good deal? Worth 14.9 and they got it for 9.5. What do we say, chat? I'm reading. Let me get to these messages. Go, go, go. No for you. Marianne said it's a no. But can they sell in this market with the interest rates the way they are? But I guess if you got like $9 to $10 million in the bank, you're not really checking for the interest rate. And at the auction, I only take cash. That's the other thing. We'll get there. At the auction, I only take certified funds. Right? So somebody came to the auction with 9.5 million 2 days ago. So isn't the overage able to be redeemed from the state? It is. Good point, Yvonne. Yes, excess funds. We'll talk about that. How does one find pre-foreclosed properties? David, I gave some websites. I'll walk you through it though. Don't worry. Like PropWire, notices. Keep in mind, you guys. So a lot of people I see, no for you. Go, yes, go. Surplus for sure. I hope they know to get their fees because that's a $4 million excess money. So what are we talking about when I say excess fees? The opening bid is the loan balance. I've said that. So anything over the opening bid, the homeowner is entitled to those funds. Okay. So this one got bid up to 9.5 million. You guys, they got a good 4 million that they need to crawl and try to get. So keep that in mind when you deal with homeowners. Yep. Surplus for sure. For sure. Moving right along. Here's another one. Do you think this was a good deal or no deal? They got it for $55,000 at the auction. So follow me here. Opening bid was 55. They bought it from the auction for 175. Then they sold it. I guess maybe they flipped it and sold it for 269.9. Was that a good deal? So they got it for 175 and was able to sell it for 269. Good deal? 175. Yeah, good deal. I guess it depends on how much work in it. And they turned around and sold it. So everybody's saying, yeah, good deal on that one. Okay. Here's another one. Don't worry, I'll get back to teaching. I know y'all like to see this a lot of time, what goes on at the auction, because y'all trying to debate if you want to go to the auction. But keep in mind, if these did not go up for auction, you guys, y'all could have talked to the homeowner on the front end, right? So the opening bid was 250. You could have called that homeowner and been like, I'll offer you what y'all gonna offer them. You know what I mean? That's that part where it comes into pre-foreclosure and you can talk to the homeowners. Opening bid was 250. They got it at the auction for 407. So it got bid up to 407. Turned around and sold it on my birthday. Look at there. Sold it on my birthday for 579. Was that a good deal? Do y'all think that was a good deal? They picked it up for 407. That's a nice looking house. You know what I mean? Nice looking house. They got it for 407 and sold it for 579. Okay, everybody's saying, yeah, that's a good deal. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going, class. Okay, auction websites. You guys, I'm gonna close the chat, but I'll check back in. Auction websites. This is something y'all were asking about. Where do you find auction properties? Here are some good ones. Auction.com. I like auction.com. That's a great one. Realty Track, Bid for Assets. Williams Auction is one that a lot of people don't know about. 10x.com. That is a commercial one. Commercial auctions. We can walk through some of these at the end. I want to get through the slides. So for people who, got to go to bed or got to go to work in the morning, we're going to get through these slides. And then we'll do the questions. So 10x is a good commercial real estate website, and we can walk through that too. Next up, Realty Bid. These are some other good commercial websites. Realty Bid, don't forget replay. So if you can screenshot these, you can come back and watch the replay, write them down. Realty Bid, LoopNet, CREXI. These are good commercial. Y'all know commercial about to everybody's watching commercial. If you need a commercial building, I always say this, if you need a commercial building, you just got to make sure you know what to do with the commercial building. You're about to be able to get a good deal on commercial here in the next couple years. Like 50, 60, 70% off on commercial is coming. So, as long as you have a plan, what you're going to do with it, you're going to be able to get some good deals on commercial for sure. And agriculture for everybody who want to farm and who say they want a garden in the back and they're going to, start living off the land. Here are some agricultural land websites, and we can go through some of these at the end. Landwatch, landandfarm.com, Farms National, and United Country. Go check them out. Look at them. Bookmark the sites. You know what I mean? Just get familiar with them for sure. Oh, I put on the bottom of this, check the chat. So that means I got something for you all. Chat. Hold on, because I do love y'all. Here we go. Hold on. Boom. Y'all check the chat. Let me know if that link works. Somebody, let me know if that link works. If you can click on it in the chat. I just dropped a link in the chat. Let me know if it works, you guys. Do you know of ways for anyone? Works. Good job. Good job. So there's some websites, you guys. There you go. Keep that. There you go. So you got the websites. How did you run your auctions during COVID? So since I'm outside at the courthouse, y'all look, they were still auctioning, right? It's like keep some social distance. Now, I don't know what auction.com was doing because auction.com auctions in like the conference room of the hotel across the street. But y'all, I had my mask on. All the investors out there had masks on, and my auctions only take a few minutes. Y'all, when I tell you money does not stop and it doesn't. But however, during COVID with the moratorium, I wasn't auctioning. They put a moratorium on all government-backed loans, right? So FHA, conventional, Fannie, all those stopped foreclosures. So they weren't foreclosing on that. But private money, that's who I was still auctioning and foreclosing on. Private money was still going up for auction. So it wasn't a ton of auctions during COVID anyway. That makes sense, y'all. Okay, so cool. Y'all got that link. Make sure you got the link. If you are watching the replay, I will put the link down below in the description so you can get the link to all the websites. Okay, you guys. So I don't want the people watching the replay to feel left out. Okay. So let's keep it pushing, you guys. Are y'all learning some stuff here? I hope y'all are learning. We're making our way. Y'all are learning. Okay, let's keep going. So this is who just asked me where to find pre-foreclosures. Hold on, let me go back. This is not in the websites that I gave y'all. This is not. These are the trustee sites. These are trustee sites, okay? If you follow me on YouTube, I always tell y'all to find the foreclosure attorneys or the trustees, okay? Because they will post their auctions, and I will show you this. I know I keep saying this. I want to get through these slides. They will post their auctions pre-foreclosures, right? Because what they're pre-foreclosures, they're in foreclosure until they go to auction. They will post them early. Okay, they will post them months early. So that gives you a head start when it comes to reaching out to homeowners. Okay, and hang with me, I'll walk you through that. But take a picture of this if you want to, or just make sure you come back and catch the replay. But these are some trustees I auctioned for. The first three of them. Logs, I don't auction for them. So here is another one. Let me get my face out the screen. Okay, you guys, it's a go or a no. Opening bid was 423. I can't see my auction. Opening bid was 423. It sold for 473, and they sold it for 620. 620. That was a good deal, wasn't it? Got it for 473 and sold it for 620. The homeowner should have sold it. The homeowner, because the homeowner only got the difference between 423 and 473. Where somebody else could, you know what I mean? And it was worth 620. Or one of y'all could have reached out to him and got, is what I'm saying. That's a good deal though. That's what it look like. A lot of homeowners, if they just knew, right, how much money they leave on the table. But it's for y'all to go tell them. That's what I'm teaching you, class. It's for y'all to go, spread the good news. So I'm pretty sure, I didn't even look at the chat, but I'm pretty sure everybody was like, that was a good deal, right? Here's one. Opening bid, 524. They sold at auction for 750. And then that investor turned around and sold it for 1.1 million. What do y'all think? Good deal? So they got it for 750, sold it for 1.1. What do y'all think? What do you think? Sound like a good deal? I guess if you got that kind of money, that liquid cash to pick up a property for 750, and then you could turn around and sell it for 1.1, So I know a lot of, I post these because I know a lot of y'all want to see what's going on at the auction, what kind of opening bids, because there's so much information about the houses are still so overpriced at the auction. It just depends, right? That opening bid is the loan balance. If they've owned that property for many years, that loan balance is going to be low. If they just bought that house 2 years ago, that opening balance is going to be, the opening bid is going to be too high, right? So are these higher end markets? I saw someone in the chat from St. Louis. How about that market for auction? Look at y'all. Look at Cindy try to do business in the chat. What does the conversation sound like once the homeowner takes your call you back after receiving your mail? What are you saying, asking from there? Edgar, I got you. Let me get through these slides because I can go on and on. Edgar, if you know I can talk. So just let me circle back to that, Edgar. Hold your question, okay? Everybody said that's a good deal. We also need to know how much was put in the home to sell that price. I agree, Diana. That's a good question. How much in repairs did it need? Don't forget you got carrying costs, commissions, all that. We're just seeing the numbers, but we're not seeing the whole story, right? Where the homes for, don't worry, I got you. Don't worry. Leona, where the homes for under 150. Can you show that trustee site slide again? I got you. There you go. Harpreet, of course I can, because you come see me on YouTube all the time. I got you. There it is. And we can click on some of these once we get through these slides. Okay, you guys? So boom. Once you go to these sites, click on, it'll have like foreclosure properties or default sales or foreclosure sales. You can click on that. I'll walk you through some of these. I know I keep saying that, but I will walk you through. Hold on. I didn't want Cindy to think I was just playing with her. Cindy, I got you. We can talk about different markets. Thank you. I am your auction market. How do you find the sold price? So that's a good question. I'm kind of looking, when I look on Zillow, the only thing is I know when the properties go up for auction, right? We'll have to look at that. If you look on Zillow during the history, I'm saying Zillow because I don't assume that everybody on here is a real estate agent, right? So if you're a real estate agent, you can probably check the MLS. If you're not, Zillow, if you go look at the history of that home, scroll down, a lot of times you can see sold, right? And that sometimes that's that sold price at the auction. Okay. How do you know which ones? When you go to the auction, how do you know which ones are the investors? How do I know who the bidders are at the auction? I would say, I think that's the question you're asking me. again, I've been auctioning for like 8 years at this point. And again, my auction market, Memphis, Shelby County, um, parts of Mississippi, all that kind of stuff, y'all, it's so small. Again, I see the same 5, 6, no matter what county I go to, it's the same people, right? And again, like I said at the beginning of the masterclass, a lot of people don't know where auctions are, what time they are, where they are, what properties are going up, nothing like that. So when I get to the court, I mean, they've already kind of huddled, right? And I walk up and they're like, oh, there's Ashley, right? Or I'll say, are y'all here for the auction? Most people are there for the auction. You know what I mean? They're not just like hanging out at the courthouse. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, I know who the bidders are, right? And I'll say, and I have to read. When I go to the auction, I read the notice. So then people are like, okay, she's the auctioneer. She's auctioning off this property, basically. Please express how important it is to do your homework. Yes, yes, yes. And we will definitely talk about that when it comes to auctions. Due diligence is everything at the auction. Due diligence. I say this all the time. Auctions, everybody's blood pressure cannot handle auctions. Everybody's blood pressure is not for auctions. Okay. A lot of people are always like, Ashley, I want to come see you at the auction. I want a foreclosure. In reality, y'all want a bank owned home. Y'all want an REO. At the auction, you can't see the inside of a house. Most people aren't willing to bid on a house that they can't see the inside of. Most people aren't willing to bid on a house with homeowners still living in them, right? Like you don't even get to walk through the house. You just bidding on it. People could live in it. If people live in it, you have to evict them, right? Everybody's blood pressure is not there, okay? So most people, as I hold your hand, y'all really want an REO or a bank-owned property. Or you want a pre-foreclosure where you can talk to the homeowner. Y'all are nice with the homeowner. They let you in and all that. If you pick up somebody's house at the auction and you knock on their door and you say, I just bought your house at auction, ain't no telling what kind of response you're going to get, okay? So it's not for everybody. For agents, I want to do this slide because a lot of y'all are like, well, what about agents when it comes to auctions? You can get a commission on auctions depending on the site. This is auction.com. Auction.com. Me at the courthouse, you can get no commission off of me at the courthouse. But auction.com, if they're bidding online, you can register, and they do offer like brokers co-op. You go through there, register, and you can get paid if you have an investor bidding on a property at the auction and they win it. Just for reference, if you're a real estate agent and you're trying to figure that out, you can get broker co-op. That makes sense? Does that make sense? So boom, I put a little how to use a real estate agent with auction. Y'all register, go through there, identify yourself, must be licensed. Boom. This is for auction.com. So if you have a client or an investor that wants to bid on properties, auction.com. There's other sites too. I think like Hubzoo and all those, I think they pay a broker commission too. So you just got to walk through that and register. Here's one scheduled for Tuesday. I post these because you can see sometimes homeowners try to sell these properties before they go up for auction, which I don't blame them, right? I always say, if you can't afford it, sell it, get off of it. This is scheduled for Tuesday. The opening bid is $598, $186. They got it on the market for $725. Look like they had it on the market for $825 because they did a price cut of $100K. I don't know, you guys. What do y'all think? I feel like I get it. Like you want every penny you can get, but when you got an auction staring in your face, you need to lower that price to try to get up off of it. You know what I mean? Oatmeal is better than no meal. You know, don't try to get the highest and best price that you can get, and you're about to lose your house in 3 days. You know what I mean? Just mark it down so you can get off of it. But opening bid $598, it's worth $725, and that homeowner is trying to sell it as we speak. They're using like the worst pictures, don't they? Like car out there with the doors wide open. Next up, let's talk about auctions as far as just some helpful tips if you go to the auction, you guys. Deeds and refunds come in the mail. If you come see me at the auction, I do not have a deed for you. I do not have a refund for you. So a lot of times people will bring increments of cashier's checks, right? Like I said, at the auction, your auction mama only takes cash and cashier's checks, certified funds in the complete amount, in the full amount. Okay. So if the opening bid is $50, $50,000, $50 million, I need the entire amount of money as soon as the auction is over. Again, that's why I say auctions aren't for everybody, right? Because a lot of people don't have liquid cash like that. So my point was, when you come to the auction, a lot of people will buy cashier's checks in increments, which means, I'm sorry, I know I can talk. You could bring me a cashier's check for $100,000, right? Or you can bring me 4 cashier's checks for $25,000 increments. People will do that because, like I said, I don't have refunds. So, say you win a house for $50,000. You win it for $50,000, and all you have is a $100,000 cashier's check. Your auction mama is not going to her trunk and pulling out $50,000 to give you a refund. You're going to have to wait for your refund of $50,000 to come in the mail. That's why people do increments, okay? Make those cashier's checks out to yourself. Make them payable to yourself. If you win the property, you turn it over and endorse the back, give it to the auctioneer. If you do not win the property, you can put it right back in your bank account. Make the cashier's checks payable to yourself. Again, because y'all gonna be like, so you don't take pre-approvals? I don't take proof of any. I don't take proof of funds. I don't take pre-approvals. I don't take personal checks, credit cards, deposits, earnest money. All I take is the complete amount in certified funds. That makes sense to everybody? Auction Mama just takes the funds, not the proof. Does that make sense to everybody? Let me check the chat, make sure everybody understands. Can an agent bid on behalf of their investor? Yes, you can. It's a lot of people who bid out of town. If you have somebody who lives somewhere, you can send, it's always people, guys at the auction, you can see they got an earpiece in or they're on the phone talking to the investor, telling them when to bid. Just make sure they got the money, the certified funds. Make sure you know where to send. You have the correct address. So when the deed and the refund comes in the mail. But yes, people can bid on your behalf. No Zelle. Certified funds and cash. I'm at Shelby County, Memphis Courthouse, so I prefer that you bring certified funds. Don't bring me a brown paper bag. Don't bring me a suitcase full of cash. Is it better to bid under an entity? It's up to you completely. I see people bid in their own personal names. I see people bid in their LLCs, like Smith Investment LLC. You can put that down when you bid, and that's what the title will come in. The vesting name. So when you sign in, you put what the vesting name is, what you want to be on that deed. So people use LLCs all the time, all the time. How much can you charge for someone to take pics if you don't live in that state? I don't know. Y'all, what does the chat say? How much would you charge somebody to take pics for you? I guess it depends on how bad you want that house, right? But that is an important part when going to the auction. You guys drive by that property and do a title search. Do a title search and drive by the property. You guys, you can buy the wrong lien at an auction. You can buy the wrong lien at the auction, and your feelings going to be hurt for the whole rest of the year. The whole year, your feelings will be hurt if you buy the wrong lien at the auction. If you buy the wrong lien, you will not get ownership of that house. You have just given away however much money you paid for it. Also, drive by the property. It's been people who have come to the auction and bought a piece of dirt. Auctions get postponed all the time. All the time. Homeowners call. They want to do a forbearance. They want to do this. And auctions get postponed. I'll show you this. For 30 days out. For 60 days out. Right? Drive by that property before the auction. That house could have been condemned. The homeowners could have burnt it down. And you go to the auction and you bid on it. and you go to that property and it's not there and you just bought a pile of dirt. So do your due diligence, okay? People come to the auction and they're like, Ashley, what's the property look like? Are the homeowners in it? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't drive by the properties before I auction them. I just get up there, read them, and leave, you guys. So I don't know, you know? But do your due diligence. Where do we do the title search? So good question. A lot of investors, once they're seasoned, they kind of know how to check the title on your records and deeds. I know there's like some, what do you want to call it? Like you can go online and get like a title search. I don't know, right? I have not heard of anybody doing that. If you have a closing attorney or somebody a title company that you work with, maybe you can be like, can you do a soft pull on my title, on that title, and give them some money. But you need to check that title. You got to check the title, or you teach yourself how to check that title. You got to look at it though to make sure you're buying the right. How can you buy the wrong lien? So keep in mind, like there's different kind of liens on properties, right? Like, let me stop sharing my screen so I can talk to y'all. Different kind of liens on properties, right? A lien is just basically, if we think about exactly what a lien is, if you hire somebody to do some work on your house, right? And you decide you don't want to pay them, they can go and put a lien on your house. They'll put a lien on the title for the amount of money that you owe them. Y'all follow me? So liens come in different shapes and forms. When you go to the auction, there's 3 liens that you buy. And I always talk about this. I call them like the 3 kings that will give you ownership to a property. Okay. HOA. Everybody has heard that HOA can foreclose on you. They sure can. Okay. HOA can take your house. Taxes. You don't pay your taxes, they'll take your house from you. And your mortgage, that primary mortgage. This can go up for auction. You'll buy these 3 and get ownership. Now, the guy that you don't pay to do your kitchen, he can put a lien on you and it can go up for auction and you can pay that off. And that man who did that kitchen work is going to say, thank you. Thank you for paying that bill. But are you going to get ownership of that house? You're not, if you pay off that lien. Okay. So that's what can go up for auction. Those liens, mechanic liens, judgment liens can go up. I've seen Chase Bank, they had a lien and it went up for auction. It was a credit card and it went up for auction. You don't want to buy anybody's Chase credit card at the auction. You buy HOA, taxes, and that primary mortgage. You also don't want to buy anybody's HELOC. Those go up for auction. People will have a primary mortgage, then they'll do some work and get a HELOC, a home equity line of credit on their house, pull out the equity. Keep in mind, when you get a HELOC, that's another payment, okay? You have your main mortgage payment and you have a HELOC payment that you have to pay. People will pay their primary mortgage and not pay their HELOC. And this will go up for auction. They will foreclose on this. You can buy, what if somebody got like a $30,000 HELOC? You can bid on a $30,000 HELOC and your feelings will be hurt for the rest of the year because you will not get ownership buying a HELOC at the foreclosure auction. So that's why you have to do a title search. Okay. How long does it take income tax lien stuff? Anthony, I know y'all think I know the answer to everything. I know. I feel like I know the answer to a whole lot. I don't know how long it takes. Income tax lien, IRS liens, 120 days. 120 days. If you buy a property and it's an IRS lien sitting on it, you got 120 days and it'll fall off for you. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So let's keep going. We're almost through, you guys. We're almost through because we're at auctions. Yep. We're almost through. I hope y'all are learning. Okay. Boom. Right of redemption, real quick. That means depending on your state, you can buy a property at auction. The homeowner can come back and redeem that property. You do not see that a lot on foreclosure auctions because the homeowner has to pay the entire amount. Okay, so if you buy a property for $150,000, they got to come back and pay the $150,000 plus any fees and all that associated with that. You don't see that on foreclosure. Now, tax liens or tax deeds, a lot of times the homeowners will come back for right of redemption. It depends on your state. Each state is different when it comes to the right of redemption. Okay. So if you buy a house at auction, wait until you get that deed in the mail before you start doing any work, before you start doing anything. Get the deed in the mail first. Okay. So just be aware of right of redemption at the auction. I do have an auction accelerator that this is my best-selling course. And it teaches you how to do a title search. Title search, courses, videos, all the things that you need to do. This is a really good course. I've had people make lots of money after they went through this course and learn how to bid at the auction. It includes all the things. So if you need that, grab that. Let's keep going. Steve has 30 days to pay the past due amount or his home will go up for auction. Steve tried but was unable to pay his mortgage. His home went up for auction, but it did not sell. Steve's home reverted back to the bank. And for everybody who knows the answer to this, what do you call a property that does not sell at auction and reverts there? I see the chat. I see the chat. I know what y'all know. But it did not sell. Steve's home reverted back to the bank. Steve's home is now an REO, real estate owned by the bank. So you see how we got here. We went through all the phases of foreclosure, pre-foreclosure to auction to REO. Okay. That is the last step of foreclosure where the bank repossesses a property known as REO. REO properties have completed the foreclosure process, did not sell at auction. The lender is now the owner. The bank is the owner of the property. Okay. I know all y'all got the answer right and said REO because y'all know. REO, y'all got this. Yep. Y'all are so good. Okay. So for the people in the back, real quick, just so you know the differentiations, y'all know what I'm trying to say. The difference between an auction. Auction is sold, public auction, highest bidder. REOs, properties that fail to sell, and now they are owned by the bank or the lender. Okay, total difference. Here is auction scheduled for the 31st. Now, my point of putting this up here, and y'all see what I circled, because y'all are like, bank-owned homes, REOs. The opening bid is the loan balance. I kind of touched on this a little earlier. If they own the property for a long time, that opening bid is going to be low. Whoop, there it is, right? Good deal. You come to the auction for a deal. Nobody comes to the auction to pay the strength, to pay full price for a house, okay? That's not why you come to the auction. So I see a ton of properties that do not sell at auction. And the answer is because they just bought them in the last 2 years. I got properties going up for auction and they bought them last year, going up for auction now. The opening bid is the loan balance. Now this one don't make sense to me. They bought it for $850, but that opening bid is can't see because it's blocking. Hold on. Is over $1 million for the opening bid. So I don't know if they've added some fees, if they've added that interest payment, foreclosure fees, all that kind of stuff. But the REO market, unless, what do I always say, unless they start selling the notes to hedge funds, we're going to see an increase in the REO market for sure. Because it's a whole bunch of people who are in foreclosure who just bought 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they bought at the peak of the market. So they're not going to sell at auction because those opening bids are too high, right? Because if you bought in 21 and 22, you were probably in a bidding war, all that kind of stuff. So can you see my screen? There it is. I put that link. There it is, actually, the property, because I was trying to see what it looked like. So this is going up for auction Tuesday for 1 point something million. But these pictures kind of throwing me off. Do y'all see this? I know y'all like, Ashley, really? Can y'all see my screen? So I see it looks like a rendering. Hold on, can y'all see my screen? Make sure y'all can see before I start clicking. Yeah, okay, good. Thank you. They just bought it, but I don't like, I'm kind of confused at, because y'all know I looked at this ahead of time. Here's the pictures that they have. What old boy standing in the corner. Okay. And then There's the front of it. But then there's these pictures too. So I don't know if they got it for $850, then put some repairs in it, took out some more money. And then that's why the opening bid is so high, because maybe they took out some money to do the repairs. And this is what it looked like when they bought it. But I don't know. But those are the pictures, and it's going up for auction on Tuesday. What do y'all think? I don't know. It probably won't sell. And I've got a good feeling. Would anybody bid on this? Anybody in the chat, would y'all bid on this? Opening bid is 1.3 million. So is that a go or is it a no? It's a no, right? So again, if nobody bids on it, it goes back to the bank. What happens when REOs don't sell? Banks just lower the price and put it back on the market. They lower the price and put it back on the market, until they can move it. Or, shoot, they might sell the notes. Hedge funds are buying up everything. They might sell the notes to hedge funds. But once, I don't know. I see I've seen it happen all the time. That's why I tell y'all to negotiate with the bank. Negotiate. That's me. When I'm dealing with the bank, like I said, we play in limbo. How low can you go? Okay. Because they will lower those prices to get them sold. They will lower the prices to get them sold. So do not be afraid to negotiate with the bank. Oh, that's a good question. Do you know how agents can be listing agents for REO banks? Great question. I might have a slide for you. Opening bid, here's one. Opening bid was 30,000. It sold for 170. It looks like it is worth $447,000. Opening bid is 30,000. That would have been a good. Somebody should have called them on 9844 Country Meadow Drive. I don't know why none of y'all called them. Opening bid was 30,000. That would have been a great little deal, huh? What do y'all think? And they bid it all the way up to 170. Because it's worth 450. That would have been a good deal. All right. Remember, Steve can file bankruptcy and cancel the auction. This is Steve's home until I say going once, going twice. So, like I said, homeowners can file bankruptcy and stop that auction immediately. Couple things to remember. REOs, you can negotiate with the bank. Auctions, you can't negotiate with your auction mama at the courthouse. You just can't. But with the banks, negotiate closing costs, ask for an allowance, right? Do all the things that you want to do, negotiate with them. I have heard of lenders I had an REO listing this year and the bank paid the closing cost. They did pay the closing cost. What else did they do? Paid the closing cost and they lowered their price. So they will negotiate with you. So don't be afraid. And I always say, no shade at all. When you're dealing with REO properties, I always make a joke and say it's a firewall in front of them, which is a real estate agent. I'm just kidding because I'm a real estate agent. But sometimes real estate agents will not, we talked about this on my YouTube channel. They don't want to place them lowball offers, you guys. Y'all see my face, how I'm looking? How low can you go? Right? I had a guy reach out to me and said that he got an REO property. His agent was like, it's not going to get accepted. It's too low. He was like, submit my offer anyway. And the bank took it. You guys. So get them offers submitted. Okay. Just remember that. And no shade, because I'm an agent too. I don't want y'all to feel like I was trying to be mean to agents. But sometimes agents just, you know what I mean? They're like, no, they're not going to accept it. It's not dealing with a regular homeowner. A regular homeowner, yes, you can offend a regular homeowner. They feel some type of way. You send them a low offer. It's the bank. It's the bank. Take this offer. That's all I'm saying. It's the bank. They don't feel any type of way charging you fees and all that kind of stuff. Lowball them. So a couple of key differences when it comes to auctions, REOs. Depending on where you live, they can be competitive. I see some places like Florida, Georgia, Texas, especially because Georgia and Texas, y'all only auction once a month. First Tuesday of every month, that's Georgia and Texas, y'all auctioning. So it can be competitive. You can also hear all of the bids, right? Like when you're submitting offers, you don't know who you're bidding against. At the auction, you can hear every bid, right? People were like plus $1, plus $100, So just go before you go to the auction, set your maximum bid amount. Don't get in there. Don't lose your money. Don't get hyped up in the environment because it's so many. Set your budget and stay there. REOs, you can definitely negotiate. That's the main thing I have to say with REOs. You can negotiate, you can use traditional financing depending on the condition of the REO. Okay. If it needs a lot of repairs, you can't go FHA. You know what I mean? But you can do FHA 203K. You can do conventional if it doesn't need that many repairs. You can probably go hard money. There's more options with REOs. You can get an inspection. You can get an inspection. Auctions, you can't do that. You are bidding blind at the auction. You have no idea what the inside of that property looks like at the auction. So keep that in mind. Okay. So you got to do at the auction, you got to make sure your budget is right. Right. Because you don't know what the repairs look like. You don't know any of that when you're bidding. So that's, just be careful. I would not say going to the auction is for brand new investors. I would not say that. I would say get you an REO or go get you a pre-foreclosure or something like that for sure. Again, you don't get any access. You cannot see the inside of that property. It can be occupied, and you will have to go to court and get those people evicted if you buy a property at the auction. And y'all know, if you watch the news, these squatters and everything, it can be a headache for a property that you own. Y'all know how I feel about that. You better not try to stay in a house that I just bought. Baby, I'm going to come take the doors off the hinges. Doors coming off the hinges. So, you can use traditional financing. You get a home inspection, appraisal. You can change your mind. You can back out of that offer with bank-owned properties, okay? You can't do that at the auction. You can't call me and be like, Ashley, I changed my mind. I don't want to buy the house no more. I don't know what to tell you. So certified funds only when it comes to the auction. Financing is allowed for bank-owned properties, right? So somebody asked me, I think it was Yvonne, was like, agents, how can agents become, list for banks? Here are some websites that you might can go to. They let you do BPOs, you might can get in on just establish that relationship with the banks. Here are some websites for agents if they want to get into listing bank-owned properties. Here are some websites. You go in, you register. I think you put where you live, like what areas you can cover and things like that. That is one way. So take note of this. Screenshot it, whatever you want to do. I'll be trying to look out for y'all. You know what I mean? What's the commission bank pays for broker fees? I did a REO and they paid 6%. They paid 6%. I did a short sale with the bank and they paid 6%. So banks paying the 6%. Any agent can put in an offer, or does it have to be the bank's agent? So it just depends. So the bank has an agent, but if you have a buyer, you can represent your buyer and you just submit like typical, there's a listing agent. And then if you're the buyer's agent, and then you send them the offer or something like that. I think like on HUD Home Store, you got to put it in though. Like you log in to HUD Home Store, upload your documents and all that kind of stuff. And then the agent will get back with you. You know what I mean? That's how that works. So boom, I think I answered. Ashley, if a property goes to auction, doesn't sell, and is now back on the market, do I talk to the bank directly to buy or wait for it to go to auction a second time? I mean, if you have a contact, that's the hard thing. Once it becomes bank owned, you just kind of sitting, trying to see when it's going to go on the market, trying to see what's going to happen with it. Like, I guess maybe if you can, I'll be honest, they don't really talk to people. The foreclosure attorney or the trustee, sometimes if a property doesn't sell at auction, the bank will like give that homeowner some more time. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if we just exploring all options, if a home go up for auction, doesn't sell, maybe if you can get in touch with that homeowner, you can be like, look, call the bank and see if we can make them this offer because it did not sell at the auction. You know what I mean? But it's really hard to try to talk to a bank. You just got to wait for it to hit the REO market, honestly, Jacqueline, just to answer your question. And that as honest as possible. You know what I mean? So I think I got y'all's questions. Okay, so y'all got that slide. Another thing that y'all like that I talk about is during the last housing crash, a lot of people made money off of different things for Fannie Mae. Like you don't have to be a listing agent. Fannie Mae hires vendors like property preservation, trash out companies, landscape companies, what do y'all call contractors, general contractors to do work on their houses. Here is, you can screenshot this because y'all are like, how do I become a vendor for like Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac? Here is a site to sign up. People made a killing off of trash outs, like doing trash outs during the last downturn. Landscape banks need people, right? So, goods and services that Fannie Mae purchases. So they have like real estate things that they need. You know what I mean? So I always try to share this site in case you have another side business or a main business, or somebody you can get on Fannie Mae list and be a preferred vendor for them. You know what I mean? So just another little, thing to know about. Sure, I'll go back. How far I'm going back? Tell me where I'm going back to. Here. So that's one of the websites. Fannie Mae, I think Freddie Mac has one. I think they all how do you submit a bid there? So I got you. I read your question, Darren. I'll answer your question. I got you. Because on auction.com, you can filter between auction and bank owned, right? So put that filter in for you want a bank owned property, right? Also, I'll share some bank owned sites with you. So y'all are not in the dark on bank owned too, because that's honestly probably going to be your best bet. Are REO properties vacant? They are. Yes, they are. And usually they have a clean title, but keep in mind when you're buying from the bank, it's a traditional sale. Like you're going to go get a title search. You're going to close at a title company. You're going to have title insurance. You're going to have homeowners insurance. It's just like buying a regular property. The bank is just the seller. Okay. So I think you have more peace of mind when you're buying an REO. Like they trashed it out. They probably winterized it. It might have utilities on it. It might not. It might not have utilities on, but you get a title search. You do all the things like a typical sale is my point of saying that. That makes sense? Y'all got that? Got that. Okay. So here's one. We about to wrap it up. We're coming to the end of this. Opening bid 77, sold for 109. It looks like it's worth 236. Is it a go or a no? Go or a no? Go or no? Now, a couple other things that I'm noticing at the auction. You guys be very careful. Like I want us all to thrive in this new market. I always say when I was 21 in 2006, so I really didn't capitalize on the downturn of the market back then. A lot of people did. A lot of people got rich in 2008, 9, 10, right? And I'm not being insensitive to people who lost their home at all. But I know a lot of investors got paid back then, right? So this upcoming, I'm not saying the market's going to crash. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying there will be a season of opportunity. I will say that for sure on the distressed market. I will definitely say that. So, but my point is, I'm starting to see a lot of investors who, when interest rates were really low, 21, 22, homes were flying off the market. I'm seeing a lot of investors struggle right now because they can't get off these properties. 2024 was rough for a lot of people in real estate. Okay. Agents know what we lost 60,000 agents put their license in retirement. Everybody's doing a price reduction. Like 90% of the United States is doing a price reduction right now. Houses are sitting. So while I want you to thrive and be successful, just be smart when it comes to buying properties, is all I'm saying. Make sure you can afford them, even as an investor. I see so many investors on the foreclosure list. Just be smart when you buying properties. That's all that was my whole spiel that I just gave y'all. Just be smart, okay? Trinice, y'all, baby, y'all ask me about a mentorship. I got you. Don't worry. Don't. So that's all I'm saying. And I have some examples. A lot of investors. There you go. There's REO sites. I knew I had it. And that link that I gave y'all, that link that I dropped in the chat, let me drop it in the chat again. With the websites on it, it's got REO properties on it. Okay, you guys. So just know it's there. I'll drop it again. I'll drop that link for you. Hold on. There's the link. So just be mindful because I'm seeing a lot of investors struggle right now. I see that because the market was real good. When it was good, it was good. But now it's, y'all know how it is now. So just be mindful of that, you know. So these are all REO bank-owned sites, HUD, Home Steps, Home Path. Go on them, check them out. You can put in your city and it'll show you. If there's not a lot on there now, just bookmark them and check back. If I were you, I would be proactive and understand what it takes to submit an offer. Do they want to see a contract, pre-approval? What are they looking for? Just if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, is all I'm saying. Okay, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So some more REO sites. Like I said, auction.com, you just need to filter it between bank owned and foreclosure. Bank owned and auction is what I meant. Bank owned and auction. I'll show you that. Let me get through this because I know the people on the East Coast got to go to sleep. So are we going to be on here till tomorrow? So REO sites, auction.com, go on there, check them out, figure out how you bid. Y'all start figuring it out now. Okay. We don't want to be late to the party. I posted this on here because, like I said, big and small, they can all fall. Do not cover up that opening bid. So this one is up for auction next week. Opening bid is $86 million. Did I put a link to click on it? I did. It is an entire apartment complex in Las Vegas. And their property is up for foreclosure. I think next week it is up for foreclosure. Opening bid is $86 million. So I guess they have not been paying that loan to the bank. Looks nice though. Look, they got a little volleyball court and everything. Opening bid is $86 million. So if houses are sitting, what is the strategy for if they're sitting for banks or if they're sitting for investors? What do you mean? I feel like the longer houses sit, the lower that price is gonna come, right? So if it's sitting, that means a price reduction is, you know what I mean? That's the good part of a house is sitting, you know, but there's the bad part is there go everybody's equity, you know, too, if you bid in the last couple years. But I think we do need to find some realistic, I don't know. I've seen medium home prices are what, like $300,000, $400,000 right now across the country. Like as the median home price. I don't think that's actually the truth. We'll see. I think we're gonna see 2025 is going to be drier than 2024 is what I will say. Now, I think that will, and that's for retail, that's for residential, that's for normal home sales. That's not investment. I think there will be opportunity on the investment side, right? Just home sitting and people got to get off of them, and motivated homeowners and distressed homeowners that have to sell. But I don't see interest rates going down anytime soon. And I'm not going to get on my soapbox about people who bought houses, you know, who were told to date the rate and marry the house, right? I'm not going to talk about that. But yeah, I think 2025, especially if you're an agent, I think everybody knows their own work ethic, right? Y'all know your work ethic. You know, if you get up, you know, if you work, you know, if you market, you know your work ethic. If you don't have one in 2025, I don't know what I suggest you find one. because I think the market going to be drier than it was. They said what we sold 4 million houses in 2024. That's like the lowest we have sold since 1995. 4 million for the whole year. So, and I don't see interest rates going low enough to make people want to sell and move up, right? I don't see them getting low enough for people to say, oh, it's worth me to get out of this good interest rate, this good mortgage, this good payment that I have and buy something else, right? And that's what you need. You need people to move, and I just don't see that happening anytime soon. Unless something happens. We do have a new administration coming in. So all I say is buckle up and hold on next year, you guys, is what I would say. Boom, hold up. Where are we? Okay, so 86 million is the opening bid. Yeah, interest rates are for sure the cause. And y'all see he cut Jerome, Uncle Jerome, old Jerome cut them rates, and the mortgage rates went right on back up. Right. So even if he cuts, like, I don't think interest rates gonna move low enough to make homeowners get off the sidelines right now. We got an affordability issue with houses. Payments are too high. Shoot, layoffs, right? Home prices are too high right now. Even if interest rates drop a little bit, they got to drop. I mean, they're going to drop to what, 6 maybe? I don't know what we're sitting there right now, but that's not going to be enough to make somebody move, right? So the market is just locked up right now. So hold on in 2025 is what I would say. Okay, let's keep moving because we got to get through this. And I'm almost through. So there it is. Look, I see, I'm like psychic. I know y'all's brain. Auction.com, you can filter between bank owned or foreclosure, right? So if you're looking for bank owned REO, click on that and then put your state, county, city, zip in it. How do you buy REO properties? Like I said, conventional FHA, FHA 203K, VA, USDA, whatever you want to learn. Whatever you want to use is what you can use on bank owned. It depends on the condition. If you're using FHA, you know the house got to be in pretty good condition. But it's pretty good houses going up for auction. I mean, bank owned. Let me say that. They talking about we got some builders that's probably gonna go under 2 here shortly. So I mean, if the house is in good condition, you can go FHA with the bank owned. So conventional FHA, 203K, VA, USDA, you can use them all to buy a bank owned property. Get a home inspection, do a title search, which will be included. It's a typical contract. You have a closing attorney, they're gonna run that title search for you. You get title insurance, everything like a typical transaction. And y'all, when they reassess these taxes on people, that's going to be the other problem that people are going to have. When they reassess their taxes and those mortgage payments go up, yeah, it's just so many, what do you call it? Like the recipe for a storm. We just have so many different things going on, commercial, just everything in the real estate market right now. And don't forget to negotiate. Don't forget to negotiate. Okay, so what's the plan in 2025, you guys? I'm open for questions. I'll start checking the chat. You guys, I put a little, look at me. I look cool with my sunglasses on. And I'll answer these questions and all that kind of stuff. I have a little thing I'll throw in there for you. I think you got to come up with a plan for 2025. I don't know what everybody's goals are. Pre-foreclosures, auctions, REOs. I think everybody's plan is to just secure the bag, right? That's everybody's plan. Figure out what their angle is or how they fit into this equation, right? So I think you figure out what works for you. And that's why I tried to take you through all the phases of foreclosure. And then you kind of say, okay, that one resonates with me, or I can do this. Or if you don't have any money, you know what I mean? You can get on the phone and call, find some deals for somebody else. You can bid for somebody else at the auction. You know what I mean? You're going to have to be resourceful. It's what I'm saying. Be resourceful. And this is kind of like I put a little schedule of things that you could do, a little weekly marketing plan. You can send out letters, you can cold call, you can door knock, you can go to auctions. People are like, where do I find buyers? You can find buyers at the auction. You can find buyers at the auction. Finding buyers is not the hard part. Getting the properties is the hardest part. Securing the seller or the property, that's the hardest part. Finding a buyer, that ain't the hard part. That's not the hard part. And like I saw that question, what about the mentorship, Ashley? What about, let me stop sharing because I get this question all the time. I get this question all the time. What about the mentorship? And y'all can do questions, put questions in the chat. I know I've had a mentorship for like the past 2 years. I'm trying to think of like I'm doing a mentorship, yes. It'll be the last one. And the point is why I paused on this is if y'all didn't know, I used to be a flight attendant. When I was in college, straight out of college, I was a flight attendant, and y'all know the script that we read and we say, put your oxygen mask on before you help the next person. I got y'all for the first month of January. But for me, I practice what I'm preaching, you guys. I'm completely focused in 2025. Like I am practicing what I'm preaching in 2025. So yes, I'm gonna put the slide back up. We're having a mentorship. It's only 5 weeks. I'm gonna give y'all 5 weeks. It's gonna start January 1st. January 1st, 2 days. We're gonna hit the ground running. I know I'm breathing on this, but I love doing the mentorship. I teach y'all everything that I know, how to market to foreclosures. This mentorship will be cold calling. We go cold call twice a week. We'll just be on there. I'll get a Zoom room going and everybody can cold call and we can listen and, we'll all get cursed out together. You know what I mean? So I'm going to put the slide back up. But will your tax lien and deed course be ready? Anthony, y'all, I know I'm y'all auction mama and y'all think I know everything about everything when it comes when it comes to everything. Y'all know I did a masterclass this year on tax liens and tax deeds, right? I did a masterclass on that. The replay is available. I'm trying to learn tax deeds and liens. My plan is to buy, oh, there it is. My plan is to buy tax deeds, tax liens, at least learn it, figure it out. I'll teach y'all everything I know when I figured it out. I'd share my goals with y'all. Like I'm not sharing my goals with you. Yeah, pick up properties, keep some, sell some. That's always my goal. I have a good buyers list of investors and hedge funds, right? So that's the plan. Hold some, sell some, get the deals that come through, but you got to look for them. If you know me, I don't like having a middleman. So I go hunt for all my deals. That's just how I operate. That's why I mail. That's why I cold call. That's why I do everything that I do. Because I hunt for my own food. I like, you know what I mean? Y'all know when there's a middleman involved, you know what I mean? So I like to be the one going for the properties, keeping the ones that I want. I get the best deal if I'm the one hunting for the properties. So, 5 weeks, we meet every Wednesday like we always have. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. We meet. I teach you everything I know. And that's what we do, you guys. And I said I'll do this for the month of January so you can get a head start on the market. You get every single thing. We start on Wednesday, January 1st. January 1st. So I teach, you ask questions, we analyze deals, we cold calling, you guys. So if you get in this time, we cold calling. Like I'm gonna put up a Zoom link and we're gonna log into the Zoom link. I'll have it where, because I know we got West Coast people, East Coast people. I have my headset. I don't have my headset with me. We cold calling. And y'all, I know y'all be like, hold on, let me ask Ashley. Or I'm gonna be like, I'm getting cursed out right now. But it's that accountability, right? It's that accountability. So, the success you're looking for is in that work that you're not willing to do. So And you get the door hangers, you get the brochures, you guys, you get every single letter bundle that I have. I give you everything that I have when you join the mentorship for sure. You get all the letters, all the bundles, every single thing. It's 5 weeks. 5 weeks every Wednesday in January. There's 5 weeks in January. We start on Wednesday. Look, there's me with my headset, you guys. So we doing weekly cold call sessions. And then y'all will have me there when you're calling. They'll be like, Ashley, they said the lender's not talking to them. I'll be like, okay, whose house is it? Did they do an affidavit of heirship? Like you have me there, right? To try to walk you through. So enrollment ends noon on the 1st, you guys, because I got to get y'all's information out to you. All your logins, your access, and all that kind of stuff. So there it is. There it is. There is the mentorship that will probably be the only one for 2025. I'll be completely honest with you. So, you guys, I try not to feel like everybody has money, but if you don't, I don't want you to feel like, oh, Ashley, I can't do this. You can always do something. What did I tell you? Even if you don't have money, but you can't not have money and be lazy, right? So, y'all have videos on YouTube. Go watch them. Go watch all my lives. Go watch them. Every live I do on YouTube is like a masterclass. Everybody who watches me on Sundays on YouTube, hop in the chat and tell them you learned so much. I have people who will tell y'all every live I do, I try to give y'all as much information as I possibly can. I know these gurus are charging y'all thousands of dollars for a website. So I try to give y'all as much as I can possibly give you. See, I told you I lead with love. So this is why this masterclass was free. All my masterclasses are free. Y'all know these are my 3 favorite movies. Y'all know I'm obsessed with the real estate crash of 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are movies that I enjoy. 99 Homes, it has a lot of profanity in it, so do not watch it with your kids. Don't watch this with your kids. Inside Job, this is a documentary of the housing crash. You will be mad after you finish watching this. I bet you will get on the phone and start cold calling after you watch this. I bet you won't feel bad about negotiating with the bank if you watch this. And then everybody knows about The Big Short. You know, a good movie. Good movies. My movie recommendations. If you want to, y'all can introduce. Y'all had so many other things to drop in the chat. I was going to give stuff away and everything, but y'all know I get to talking and answer questions. But feel free, introduce yourself, ask me questions. We are done. That is we are done. We are done. Feel free, ask your questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. You guys, if you have to go to bed, go to bed. The replay will be available. I will drop all the links in the chat. Everything that I have, you guys, is at this one link. It's here. Everything that I have is here. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Every letter, every course, everything, I just put it in the chat. Okay. So tell me where you're from. Tell me what you're buying. Tell me what you're selling, what you're trying to do. Y'all about to get mad because I'm about to do big screen and I'm about to put y'all on these screens. So if you're in the bed, CB Burton. I'm gonna get everybody. I'm just kidding. There we go. Oh, y'all need to take a picture, you guys. So I hope y'all learned. This was the last masterclass of 2024. And I was like, let me try to teach the people one last time before the end of the year, you guys. So if you got to go, the replay will be up. I was going to do a giveaway for a calendar. Really, you guys? Okay, y'all, I'm going to take a picture. Y'all going to turn on those cameras or not? I'm going to give you a second. Let me give everybody a second. If you want to turn on your camera, you can turn it on. If you don't, you can turn it off. Okay. Look, I see everybody's camera coming on. Drop where y'all at. I want to see where y'all are at. Did I tell you I'm on YouTube? Look, I'm on YouTube. Your Agent Ashley. I'm on Instagram. Your Agent Ashley. My email is youragentashley@gmail.com. Texas. What's going on, Joan? All my YouTube family is here. Okay, you guys. Y'all ready? I got to take a couple pictures because it's a whole bunch of pages of y'all. So y'all ready? Can y'all see me? Okay, ready? On 3. 1. I don't know what to do with my hands. I always throw up the peace sign. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Good job. Good job. I see you, Marianne. I saw the 2 peace signs. Okay, so this whole side is not, there's no cameras on. over here. Okay. That's fine, Yvonne, Gordon, Jackie, Anthony, John, Julie. That's fine. You don't have to turn your cameras on. Okay. Y'all don't have cameras on. Okay. Let me go back to the people with the cameras on. Thank you. Thank you to the people with the cameras on. Okay, you guys, I'm here. Y'all know how, if you've been to my masterclass before, y'all know how I go down at the end. I will answer your questions that you have, and I'll try to check this chat. Y'all are welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your auction mamas being amazing. You mentioned before that banks may not respond to an REO bid for 60 or 90 days. Therefore, can I bid on more than one property and cancel the bid of the one that took too long to respond? I would. I mean, you can. You can cancel the bank. You know what I mean? So, like, okay, so I've been on both sides of this before. I've been the listing agent for a bank, and I've submitted an offer for my client on a property for the bank. So the bank, again, we play limbo. How low can you go with the bank when you make offers? Okay. So the bank will usually negotiate with you at least 3 times. Okay. So you can be in negotiation and then, but I guess, yeah, and I would still, you could still submit an offer on another one. Though I for sure would. Yeah. And then you could be in negotiation. It's like, I don't want to confuse y'all. As an agent, if you have a client that puts an offer on a house, it's not accepted until it's binded, right? Until everybody binds that offer, it's not accepted. You don't have a, executed contract. So make offers, people. Make offers. I should have done this class 2 weeks ago or so. So y'all could have been out here making offers on these banks. So yes, I'm taking questions. Hold on. Let me, camera not working. Jacqueline. How about if I'm an agent and investor? Aren't we all? I feel like all real estate agents. I mean, I guess we all do love our clients. I love my clients, but I came in real estate with the sole purpose of being an investor. Like that was my sole purpose. The market changed, and then I started working residential. But I think every agent, once you've been in the business for so long, you start being like, I want to be an investor. Like that's the whole end game, honestly. Um, Okay, so questions, y'all have questions? I'll take questions. If y'all want me to walk you through like prop wire, I'll walk you through that. If you want me to go through the trustee sites so y'all can find pre-foreclosures, that's what all my wholesalers want me to do is show you how to find pre-foreclosures. Prop wire, yes. How did I become an auctioneer? Y'all hate this story. It's such a good story, but they called me. I say this all the time. They called me and I thought it was spam. They called me and I got a message on my voicemail and they were like, our representative in your area has relocated, and it was something like, it sounded real generic. And I was like, this is spam. I'm like, I'm not going to call them back. But something was like, call them back. And I called them back and it was true. It was a company out of Arizona called me, and their person here had relocated and they needed another contact here in Shelby County. And I was like, they were like, do you want to auction? And I was like, I've never auctioned. I'm a real estate agent. I have a real estate license. And they were like, that's okay. You don't need an auctioneer license. You're doing trustee sales. And I said, okay. So I'm an okay and I'm a yes and figure it out kind of person. A lot of people probably been like, nope, I don't know how you do that. I'm going to say no. I was like, yep, I sure will. And I'm going to figure it out. And I did. I had to read the script. They taught me what I had to do. And I've been auctioning for the last 8 years, from here to Nashville to Mississippi. That's how I got the job. How do you get paid as an auctioneer? I get paid off of every house that I sell. Um, so I get, y'all really in my business, but I guess I'm really transparent, honestly. Clearly, I'm really transparent. So every sale and then like a little percentage, right? And so then being the kind and friendly person that I am, if you crack the door open for me, I'm going to push it all the way open. So I made friends downtown with the other trustees, the other foreclosure attorneys, all the investors, right? So I'm just that person. So there's about 5 trustees here in Shelby County. I auctioned for 4 of the 5 trustees. So Yep, I handle most, and they called me and I updated my whole auction coverage. So I auctioned from here to Nashville and into Mississippi. I was like, send me to Miami. They was like, you want Miami? I was like, I can't drive to Miami from Memphis to auction. But I did tell them to send me to Georgia because I want to see what goes on in Georgia and Texas since y'all only auction once a month. So, um, so yeah. Yeah, you guys, because I know they would have charged y'all like $500 for this master class to teach y'all what I just taught y'all for free. So, okay. Anybody got a question? If y'all ain't scared to get on the unmute yourself, I'll take a question if y'all want it.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, I see you, Edge. Is that who I'm talking to?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
Um, Now I've taken your accelerated thing
Yeah,
program or whatever. Okay, and so as long as I'm doing your county, I'm excellent. But then when it comes to my own counties, I can't seem to find the right
I got you. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about when you're trying to do a title search, right?
title search. Correct.
So it's so different. So when it comes to, and she's talking auctions, you guys, she's talking about the auction accelerator course. Um, I always say Shelby County don't care about us. Like I live in Memphis. What Michael Jackson say? All I gotta say is they don't care about us. So all our information is open to the public in Shelby County. You can look up and see all our titles, all our liens, everything you want to see. It's open to Shelby County. Now, places like Nashville, I don't know, in Georgia, sometimes they charge you to look at the county records and deeds site. I think Nashville charges you. So it just depends on where you live in the county. Shelby County, wide open. Georgia, they have a site. Go ahead, Edge.
Uh, Excuse me. I'm in Maryland, and the when I go to the public records, all of them are there, but
Yeah,
they won't let you search for a specific one. Like if I'm looking for an address, I have to probably scan through all of those notices that are out there before I find it. But it's
yeah.
not like allowing me to filter out.
Are they charging
So
you to look, or
no, they're not charging.
you just gotta look?
You gotta really look, yeah, because it's a bunch of them.
Yeah, for one
If I'm just
property.
one of Pacific,
Yeah, we'll have to email me and maybe I can try to help you a little bit if there's like a particular property and try to find because there's other sites sometimes that you
I
can.
did. I did email you.
Did you
Yes,
email me again? Then.
it just was 2 days ago, so
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
it
So
was
yeah, look, I was
recent.
like, I was trying to check my email. Um, so yeah, and especially if there's an address or something, you know what I mean? I can help you pinpoint or we can kind of figure out a way to do that. Um, because I want you to figure out how to read in Maryland, or there might be other sites. I don't think Prop
Now
Art.
the tax record I could find.
Yeah,
Looking at the
yeah,
tax liens and stuff, I can find that, but the title, the title search as far as trying to find the liens and stuff.
that's different. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll help you on that one for sure because you can look at that public notice and it should align with the lien on the title, right? So, and that's how you know which lien you're buying. So, Edge, I got you because that's going to be a more detailed question. Yes,
Okay.
for sure. Can we get the replay
Thank
will
you.
be up. I'll put it on YouTube. All my master classes on YouTube. It'll be up in like 24 hours. Um,
Hey, Ashley.
yes.
Hey, CB.
Yes.
My camera wasn't supposed to be on. You know that, right? Anyway,
Well, we all saw you chilling.
that's okay. You see the better picture now. Anyway, if houses aren't selling, right, and they're
Yeah.
sitting, what should the game plan be right now for us?
So, like when we say houses, are we talking bank owned or like a normal traditional seller who can't get off a property?
Both.
So, for both of them, I definitely say my game plan is negotiate, y'all. I don't pay full price for any property, right? So, the longer you've been sitting on the market, the lower my offer is going to be. The longer, like somebody emailed me, texted me the other day and told me they were bidding on a house that had been on the market for 269 days and they were asking 149 for 150. I was like, started at least 60, 70. Give them half off their property, right? Like, so that's the game plan. Like, I feel like the longer a house sits, the more negotiation room you have, for sure. Regardless, if it's bank owned, we can go look at like HUD, Home Store, Home Path. Banks are reducing all their properties right now too. If you go look on these REO sites, they're reducing their properties too. So the game plan is, and then if you're mean like the entire game plan, you got to pick them up for cheap and then figure out what you're going to do with them, right? Are you going to hold on
Exactly.
to them? And then that's the game plan, the end game. Are you going to rent them out or are you going to try to get them for cheap? Like one of my game plans is once I figure out how to do tax liens, if I can pick these houses up, I will hold some and then sell some because you get them for cheap at the, So
Mm-hmm.
that's the plan. You got to figure out. I think it depends on your market, what's your rental market looking like. Because again, I'm seeing a ton of properties, and I know y'all got questions. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to y'all questions. I'm seeing a ton of properties that investors have picked up and cannot get off of them. Is
Right. Mm-hmm.
What we got going on right now. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
So they bought this house at auction. They tried to sell it. They got it at auction, I think, for a good price. They were on my list. And then here it is. They got it for auction. Everybody see this as we walk through this. For $272 at auction. They tried to sell it for $410, $350, and now they're trying to rent it for $2,500. It's a whole bunch of investors like that. So my point of saying that is just got to make sure we know what the end game is if you pick up a house so you're not sitting on it and losing money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
hedge funds buy all day. And I know some of y'all are like, not the hedge funds. Hedge funds buy all day, every day. And rentals, you know what I mean? I think rentals, because people just can't afford to buy right now. So
Right.
depending on your market, if you have the bandwidth to rent it, or if you got some back end buyers, yeah, multiple exit strategies. Oh, y'all can't see the property?
No, we didn't.
Oh, hold on, you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm in the Fort Lauderdale area.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you guys. I thought y'all could see. There. Now, can y'all see? Blink if you can see my screen.
No, we still can't see it. Just you.
I can see it.
You can see it?
Yeah,
I
y'all can
see it.
see it. Okay.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
there it is. That was what I was telling y'all. They picked up this house at the auction, and for everybody who didn't get to see it or see what I was talking about, y'all can see they bought it in May for $272 at the auction. You don't know it's the auction, but I know that that's where they got it in May. And then they listed it for $410, lowered the price to $350, and now they're trying to rent it for $2,500. My point is, now that y'all can see the visual, y'all just have to know your exit plan. So Florida, in Florida, that's a
Fort Lauderdale. Yeah.
yeah, y'all in a
We need you down here.
gosh, y'all are in a tight with taxes and insurance in Florida. But Florida is still like people go there to vacation. Florida, they go there to retire. So even though y'all have had, even during the last housing downturn, Florida came back a little bit. And I know the hurricanes, like Florida's one of those states that come back. Like people gonna buy there, they're gonna build. They're saying investors are picking up properties in Florida as is right now because
Right.
of damage and stuff like that. So you gotta just a strategy. I think if you don't want to hold on to properties, if you don't want to be a landlord, sell them, get them for cheap enough and then get up off of them.
Okay.
Florida will come back, unlike, because I know Florida, y'all had the hurricane, maybe not where you are, but Florida will come back. There's a lot of places in North Carolina that they said aren't coming back, right? Like Helene hurt them, and now Florida will come back. Parts of North Carolina are probably not going to come back. I hate to say that, but
It's true. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so they're going to zone a lot of places in North Carolina is flood zone. You can't build, and some of those places just won't come back. But I feel like if you can my strategy is always, if you can pick up properties cheap enough at a deep enough discount, buy it on the front end, and then sell it. Like, again, I know a lot of people are like, Ashley, not the hedge funds. They buy. You got other investors that buy, or you can hold on to them. I mean, if you don't want to be a landlord or an investor or a retirement couple, you just got to know your game plan. Everybody's game plan is different, right? I don't judge anybody on who y'all sell to, who you buy from. Just don't be harassing these homeowners, right? But that's
I
what.
just want to say you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent.
I
Thank you.
try to teach y'all as much as I can. Um, okay, I'm gonna take another couple questions and then, or do y'all want to see prop wire? Does somebody got like a dying question? I know Gail Mabry, she's the only one who put her hand up. Let me answer Gail's question. Gail, because you didn't
I'm
have
ready
your
for
question
class.
up.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, let me answer
Hey,
your question.
so I wanted to ask you, I'm a real estate agent. I invest as well, but I mainly wholesale.
Yeah,
So do you wholesale as well, or?
I do whatever the deal requires, is what I would say. So it depends on what the numbers look like, is what I do with that deal.
Okay.
So if the margins are large enough for me to wholesale, I'll wholesale it. If the margins aren't, I will put it on the market, even though y'all know I do not like dealing with the market. On market properties is not my, um, it just depends on what it is. If I like it and it's a good enough deal, I'll hold it. If it's a good wholesale deal, I'll wholesale it. If it needs to go on the market, I'll put it on the market for sure. Yeah.
Okay. And I don't think I caught, how much is your course? Do I have to click a link to figure that out?
Which one? Tell me which course you
Your-
talking about.
I guess so you do have different courses. I guess I didn't see that part. So
Yeah. So no. So I try to make it for everybody, right? So I do these master classes for free, so y'all can teach y'all what y'all can learn here. Um, if you want to know my marketing method, I know y'all can tell like I'm like a proud mom. If you want to know the marketing method of what I do, like I said, I reach out to every foreclosure, pre-foreclosure. As soon as they hit my public notice list, they're going to hear from me. They will get a letter from me in the mail. They'll get a phone call from me. And then I'm going to reach out to them a couple other ways. I put that all in a course too. And that's the marketing blueprint, right? And it's got mentorship videos. I put mentorship videos in that. It's kind of self-paced, right? Go through, I teach you all my marketing strategies. I think the letters are with it. So a lot of people will just get that one. I think it's like $97. And then the mentorship is for y'all who just really want to see me every Wednesday. Like some just want to see me on Wednesdays is the mentorship for 5 weeks. And yes, we are cold calling. You can, because some of y'all need accountability. You don't have to, but I know the guys. I had a great deal in August. I'm transparent about everything. I had a August was probably one of my best deals. Um, and when you get close to touching six figures in 1 month on a deal, you will pick up that will make you pick up the phone and start calling. So,
yep.
you will. So I know that's where it is. And I see we got guys here in Memphis who call and they making six figures a month calling. And I'd be like, dang, I know I got better people skills than y'all, so no shade, but so yes. And I know a lot of people need accountability. I know a lot of people are scared to get on the phone. I didn't want to get on the phones, honestly, until I figured out my best method to get on the phone. I lead with love. I share this with everybody because y'all are like, Ashley, what do you say when you get on the phone? I always say those first 10, 15 seconds can make or break you when you cold calling. I I just say, and y'all gonna be like, Ashley, really? I call and it's like bring, and I'm like, hey, this is Ashley. I was trying to reach Paul. That's exactly what I say. Like I call their name. This is Ashley. I was trying to reach Paul, and they're like, this is he. And I'm like, and so a lot of times they'll be like, it's my tone of voice. And people will be like, this is he. Who is this? And I'll say, this is Ashley. I was just trying to make sure what do I say? Something like trying to make sure you It depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll say just trying to make sure you knew the options available for you, or I was trying to see if you got your auction postponed, something like that. But that opener is, I don't pick up the phone and say, "This is Ashley. I'm calling with this. I was trying to see." I'm like, "This is Ashley. I was trying to reach." Boom. That's how I open up the door. And and a lot of times people are like, "Who?" And I'm like, "Ashley."
My cousin Ashley.
And they're like, "Where I know you from?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And you can hear people, it's like silent, and they're like, "Ashley from where?" Like, and it's just silent, like, "Ashley from church?" And I'm like, "No, I'm calling to see." And they're like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "I'm calling to make sure you got your auction postponed." And they're like, "Oh, okay, this is where."
Got
So,
it.
I got a
I
question
throw
to
them off a
ask you
little
too.
bit with my attitude. Huh? What'd you say? I'm sorry. I
No,
thought,
I was saying I'm Carl. I have a question when you get done.
yeah, yeah. Gail, you through because I know you had your hand up. So I
I had
wanted
it
to
up.
make sure you.
Had my manners going, with my hand up.
Yes,
So,
Carl. Carl got his headset on. I should have had mine. Y'all know I be trying to have my headset on too. Go
Well,
ahead.
my computer speaker is not working, so I have to have a different one. First of all, Ashley, you're the most real person I've ever seen in real estate dealing with that because I really never got into it too much.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I don't even know how your email even came up. I just checking my email and it says, "Oh, there's a Zoom class." I'm like, So I went on and clicked on it.
Yeah.
And typically what I do, I click on it and be like, okay, they want
Right.
$7,000. Okay, click off. But I enjoyed your class.
Thank
Um,
you.
I'm kind of I'm one of the person that I have to talk to people.
Yeah.
I'm a little slow. That's just the way I am. But when I learn it, then I become a master. I
Right.
did the same thing. I own two companies, and I was slow at doing that, and I mastered that over the years. But my question is your email,
Yeah.
because I don't want to have to be trying to call you, but you obviously check your email. I want to be clear on your email because I'm gonna do the master class on the first,
Yeah.
but I want to make sure I have your email correct. So if I got any questions, I can shoot an email.
Absolutely. My email is this for everybody, your agent Ashley at gmail.com. And I'm going to drop it back in the chat, y'all. Everything
Yeah, if
is
you can do that, that'd be great.
absolutely everything, all the letter bundles, the auction accelerator, everything, all my previous master classes that I've done. Y'all know I did a master class on tax sales. I've done so go, they're all free. Every master class I always do is always free because y'all, I remember when I first started off, like I didn't have coins, right? I was just trying to learn and pick up everything that I could learn. So that's why I do these master classes. And thank you, Carl. I appreciate that for the kind words. I hope that y'all don't just listen to me, but you actually like execute. Because I keep telling y'all, like next year, in the next couple of years, I feel like the opportunity will for sure be there for the people who go get it. It will be. So let me share real quick. I'm trying to watch. I know y'all gotta go to sleep. If you gotta go to sleep, you guys go to bed. um, I wanted to show PropWire. I wanted to show y'all a couple of things really quickly for people who I would say this real quick is if you were starting out, you didn't have any money and you were trying to figure out how to find pre-foreclosures and wholesale deals. This is so real quick. Can y'all see my screen? Somebody say yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I told y'all to find the trustees. Look, I always do this because this is just me. Real quick, when you deal with foreclosures, right? The bank, when you get behind on your mortgage, the first couple phone calls gonna come from the bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, those people. After a while and you don't pay your mortgage, the bank is going to take your file and they're going to give them to their foreclosure attorney or their trustee. And then their trustee or their attorney is going to come after you. That's who sends the certified mail. That's who tells you when your auction is. That's who that is. So the trustees or the foreclosure attorneys, sometimes the banks will give them these auction or foreclosure files months ahead of time. Okay, so it's December. The bank will say, here's 123 Central Street. Schedule them for auction on March 1st. Okay, and sometimes these attorneys or trustees will post these properties ahead of time before they go to auction. Pre-foreclosures. So keep in mind, all the way up until their auction, you can reach out to them and see if they want to sell. So that is what I tell y'all to look for. The trustees, the foreclosure attorneys. Okay. So that's what I'm about to show you really quickly. I put the site up during the slides. I did Ruben Loveland. That's one of them. I auctioned for him. Can y'all see my screen? Somebody tell me if you can see my screen or not.
We see it.
Okay. So he is a foreclosure attorney, a trustee. He posts his property listings that he gets. Okay. So I went to his site. I clicked on foreclosure property listings and I scrolled down and to agree to view properties. He does Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama. So also, here's all the properties. So keep in mind, Georgia only auctions the first Tuesday of the month. Okay. So here are, if you look on this side, and this is what I want to show y'all.
I'm in Georgia.
So Carl's in Georgia, everybody else too in Georgia. If you look on this side, this is the auction date, first Tuesday of the month. So here are January's auctions. Boom. Address, Atlanta. Boom. They got the opening bid. Opening bid is the loan balance. Keep that in mind. I don't want y'all to get dizzy. Scroll down. I'm about to prove my point so y'all understand what I'm doing. Here's February auctions for Georgia. Y'all see February the 4th. That means you have now until February 4th to reach out to them to see if they want to sell. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling on down. Here's March auctions. These are pre-foreclosures. These are what, if you're a wholesaler, if you're somebody who wants to reach out to pre-foreclosures, these people have auction dates scheduled for March. That gives you a heads up on when to reaching out to them, right? Here's another, logs.com. They're another trustee foreclosure attorney. Click on sales, agree. Log service, Alabama, Arizona, Connecticut, Georgia, Illinois, Maine, Massachusetts. Boom. Click on them. They post their sales. Okay. Way ahead of time is the point that I'm trying to make. Okay. So you have time to reach out to these people. You can send them a letter. You can call them. They're in foreclosure. Anytime up until the auction, you can reach out to them. Remember that. Is everybody with me on that? That's why you want to find the foreclosure attorneys or the trustees. Now y'all going to be like, Ashley, you knew those, but how do we find them if we were to look for them? Right? Right. So a couple of places that you can find the trustees or the people. Let me get off this, you guys. Hold on. I can't because I have, hold on, you guys. Stop share. I'm going to share my screen with you. There's a couple of ways to find the trustees and the attorneys. I try to share everything that I can with y'all, honestly. Okay, so let's bring the Zoom back up. I'm about to share my screen. Hold on, you guys. The after party. Shout out to everybody still here with me. So I'm on auction.com. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Yes. Yes, y'all nodding. I hope y'all can because I can't see
Yes.
y'all. Okay, cool. Thank you. So I would put in wherever you live. So if I lived in, I don't know where y'all live, Chicago, right? Chicago, Illinois. Boom. I want the foreclosures. I want the foreclosure homes. I don't want the bank-owned homes because the bank is the seller. I want the foreclosure homes. It's about to filter it for me. Anywhere you live, put in any county, any city. Here's the foreclosure sale. I would click on it. Scroll down. And where it says foreclosure contact info, I would start putting these in Google. and see if they were posting their sales. It might take a couple, some post them, some don't. That's how I would find some foreclosure attorneys or trustees who post their sales. Okay. Everybody with me on that? That's a shortcut
Gotcha.
to get to pre-foreclosures. Okay. PropWire also does it for you. Are y'all familiar with PropWire, or that's something new?
No, I heard you saying it, but I wasn't sure who it was.
Carl speaking for everybody. Everybody's like, yes, Carl. Okay. So PropWire is free. And if you are familiar with PropStream, a lot of agents are familiar. Hold on, y'all. It's because I can't see the top of my screen because of the, hold on, y'all. I got you. So PropWire is like a lead generation. I would say like a Zillow for investors is what I would say, kind of to describe it. I'm about to show you so you can, I can show you better than I can tell you. Hold on. Y'all, I got so many tabs open. Who knew we was going to go all night long? Who knew we're going to be here till New Year's? So propwire.com, PORPWIRE, propwire.com. It is free, FREE, free 99. Some people use PropStream. PropStream is $99. I have used both of them. I find that PropWire works just as good as PropStream does for what I use it for. Okay. Log in, create an email, whoop de whoop. PropWire, really quickly, tutorial for people who don't know. You can put in addresses, cities, counties, state, zip codes, and then filter them by lead types. Absentee, adjustable, auctions, bank owned, empty nesters. So let's do an example. Let's do Miami, right? Miami. Again, you can do cities, counties, singular addresses. Do you hear me when I say that? You can put in an address. So all those properties I just showed you for pre-foreclosures on the trustee site, you can put their address in here. Okay, but let me walk you through a quick tutorial. Let's say Miami-Dade. It pulled 879,000 properties. We don't want all those. We only want the ones that are in pre-foreclosure. Filter it by that. Boom. Goodness, y'all got 2,000 properties in pre-foreclosure in Miami. Okay. You could do condos. So PropWire, you can filter it by single family, condos, multifamily, mobile home, land, commercial, price, everything. Okay. Absentee owners, adjustable loans, assumable. You can filter it by all of these. Bank owned, vacant, tired. It's free, but it is 10 cents to skip trace. Okay. But you can start building a list here. So we got pre-foreclosures. Golly. It's 2,900 pre-foreclosures in Miami-Dade. Okay. Okay. So, and then you can click on the individual property. Okay. So here it is. It'll tell you okay. So y'all gonna be like, Ashley, it's showing free and clear and it's in pre-foreclosure. There's a lien on that property somewhere. It's gotta be for it to be in pre-foreclosure. Any site, PropWire, PropStream, Zillow, all of them, do not take their information as gold. Okay. Don't even do that. But yes, this property is in pre-foreclosure. You can click on owner and it will tell you who the owner is, their address. If you click skip trace for 10 cents, it will give you their phone numbers and their emails. So for y'all who want to cold call and reach out to people, it gives you the comps of what's sold in their area, history of when they bought it, how much they paid for when they bought it. Okay. And you can go through all, which I'm still like, golly, 2,900 properties in Miami-Dade in pre-foreclosure. Wow. Okay. This one's on the market. It's in pre-foreclosure. Boom. You can see, let me show you something. Here's a property. So let's scroll down. So you can read this. It says it's absentee owner. They're in pre-foreclosure. They bought it in 2023. It says for 184,000. Don't take these numbers as gold though, you guys, but you can kind of see when they bought it though, for sure. If it had a second lien sitting out here, you could see that. So if you're going to the auction, sometimes you can come on PropWire and you can see what lien, how many liens they have on that property. You can scroll down, get land information, tax information, foreclosure details. Here is another spot. Boom. What were we looking for? The trustee attorney. Boom. Here's another place for you to get the foreclosure attorney. Put him in Google and see if he has a website where he posts auctions or pre-foreclosures. Okay. So try auction.com and try PropWire to get some trustee information. Now, if I didn't have any money, let me give y'all another example really quickly.
Hey, Ashley, quick question for you.
Go ahead.
Are these numbers scrubbed on PropWire?
I don't trust. I trust the addresses, but I don't take it as gold, because I've heard people who like put in your own address. If y'all were on PropWire, put in your own address or put in an address that you know and see if the information is accurate. Okay. So,
Okay.
because I've had people say that they've lumped their loans together and that's what price they're showing. I've heard people say that's not accurate on, the numbers, but the addresses, yes, and skip traces, because I do use PropWire to skip trace. Okay, so I bet y'all are like, Ashley, we thought we was about to go to sleep, but look, y'all not going to sleep yet. So let me show you something. I'm going to show you real quick what other people would probably charge you for. So if I was working Georgia, everybody with me, can y'all see my screen? Yes?
Yep.
Okay. So remember Ruben's site, he's a foreclosure attorney, right? So if I was working Georgia, and let's say I didn't have any money, I would come to their foreclosure properties. Boom. Agree and view. I know these people are going up for the 7th, not next week, but the week after. I would probably work them, knowing me. But I would go through here, right? And I would take 4881 Powers Ferry Road. Took that address. I'm going to put it right in PropWire. 4881. Y'all are peeking into my brain right now. I told y'all I can put address. If you drive for dollars and you make a list of, there it is. If you make a list as you drive for dollars, you can come back home and put these addresses in PropWire and skip trace them and call the owners. That's a way to do it. So let's just say, here it is. It's in pre-foreclosure. Is there a house on it? I don't know. Maybe this is the earlier picture.
That's like land.
Yeah, it looks
Hey,
like
that
land.
might be a builder. I drive by there every day on my way to work. That might be a builder.
Okay, so it's in. Okay, now look, let's see. Boom, there it is. Paces West Property
There you
LLC.
go. Yep.
That's who owns it. It's in pre-foreclosure. If I hit skip trace, it's going to pull their information. So my point is, if I was working this list, and say for people who are like, Ashley, I don't have any coins, I would go through this whole list like I just did. I just did that one. I'm going to click add and I'm going to start a list. Boom. So I added it to a list. I'm going to put this one, Rockwell Street. Rockwell Street. That's not it. But y'all see what I'm doing. 450, 490, 490. Y'all, I don't want to take all night, but I want y'all to grasp what I'm doing. 1758. There it is. It's in foreclosure. I'm going to click add. Boom. I can look at it. Whoop, whoop. It's a property in pre-foreclosure. I'm going to go through this whole list, or whatever trustee or whoever, and I'm going to put them in PropWire, add them to a list. And right now I only put 2 houses in. Save it to a list. I would say this is what Atlanta pre-foreclosures. I have so many lists. You're about to see my back end of my screen in 2 seconds. Save it. View my lists. Y'all see I have all the lists because I work every day. There's my Atlanta list. I would skip trace them. Boom. After I skip trace them, it's going to give me all of their information. And then what I would do is I would mail them, and I would hop on the phone and start calling them. If I didn't have money to buy envelopes, I'm going to start calling them. I'm calling Sebastian, and I would go through. I'm calling, if y'all call investors, I would call them. And then that's how I would work that list. Okay. Now, skip tracing is 10 cents. If you don't even have 10 cents, you better hop on White Pages. Y'all better go to White Pages and put it in there and do that, because I use both. I use PropWire and I use White Pages. And I'm trying to see whose number is the best. And so that is what I would build my list, and I would call. And once I had money, I would mail. But until I had money, you got to get on the phone. You can't be broke and embarrassed. You have to swallow your pride and hop on the phone. And, I feel like investors, I feel like deals, it's definitely a numbers game. If you only call in 2 people, that's not going to work. You got to call. It's a numbers game. That's why I mail on such a large scale. That's why I call, because I just cast a big net. Y'all, even if I don't want the properties, I'll just have somebody to sell them to. But you got to cast a big net. It's definitely a numbers game. And
That was my question.
Go ahead.
That was my question is, if you're starting out and you find deals, I assume you have to have a list of investors that are going to buy these houses. Is that correct?
It's up to you, but I always say finding a buyer is the easy part, right? You can you can go to a meetup group, you can go to the auction. I have people who reach out to me sometimes, but don't y'all start doing it. Don't y'all start reaching out to me and be like, Ashley, I got this property. And I'll try to connect you with somebody who's buying in that area. But I would still say the hardest part is getting the properties, getting to that seller, negotiating that deal. That's the hardest part. But finding a buyer, I mean, it's so many real estate groups, so many meetup groups. If you don't have a buyer, I would tell you I know it's a trick that some people use. If you find a house, let's say in Georgia, I would kind of do a search on houses that sold around it recently and see if an investor bought in that neighborhood or somewhere in that area recently, and then present that house to them and say, hey, I saw you just fixed up this house. I got another one for you. And then do that. But that's, I'm telling you, finding a buyer, as long as the price is right. And that's the other part. And we talk about in the mentorship. When you try to negotiate with the seller, most investors, everybody's got their own formula. Most investors that I see and the numbers that I do want 70% of that aftermarket value, of that market value. So if a house market value is let's say $300,000, and y'all, I don't want to get too deep in here because we all got to go to bed. And it's tomorrow where some of y'all live already. If a property is worth $300,000, I need to get it for $210,000. That's where I need to lock it up at to be able to sell it to an investor and still make some money, and an investor makes some money off of it. Okay, so that's the part where I think people get a little tricky at, is negotiating, making offers, that kind of stuff. But that just comes with time and knowing investors and knowing where they want to be. So that's the other part of the equation that people have to know, what price to secure a house at for you to be able to sell it to somebody else.
Got it.
Y'all got it?
Yep.
Y'all, I'm talking, I ran out of water, my throat dry. Hold on.
Hey, Ashley.
Yes.
Yeah, the skip trace.
Yes.
I think you said 5,000 free skip trace.
Hold on, let me get on thank you for reminding me of that. Let me give y'all my link. PropWire is absolutely free, first of all, but I think if you save a list or something, they'll give you some free skip traces. You guys, so hold on, use my link to sign up. Hold on, you guys. I gotta get back to that screen. I have so many screens open. You guys, I think I'm like almost through talking, unless y'all got some more questions. Or what else did y'all want me to show? Did I forget to show y'all something? Was I supposed to show y'all some REO websites? Y'all, what am I supposed to be showing y'all?
I think that was it. It was just the question he just asked.
Yeah. If anybody got a question, feel free to jump on in while I look for this. Um,
I have a quick question.
yes, ma'am.
With a prop wire, does it distinguish between what type of foreclosure it's going on for? Like if it's a bank foreclosure versus a government tax lien foreclosure?
Got you. That's a great question. I feel like, and we can look at that really quickly. I pulled Beverly Hills, right? So we got Beverly Hills. Let's look at that real quick. Pre-foreclosures. And again, depending on where you live, non-judicial, judicial, that can depend on the time length of a foreclosure. So this one's in foreclosure. Scroll down, scroll down. Foreclosure details. So it just gives, oh, look, it's a HOA lien. It's a HOA foreclosure. It doesn't. I don't see it on here, but maybe, and I don't want to confuse the heck out of y'all because I'm always trying to figure out if you could like find the public notice on this, or if you could not even just this one, but a property, let's say a property that you were looking at and you were trying to find foreclosure details on it. Once you get the property, you can maybe check your county records and deeds office to see where that foreclosure lien is filed. You know what I mean? And then you can get some more information on the type of foreclosure it is. If that makes sense, what I'm saying. I just don't want to confuse y'all. When it comes to, let me show you. Hold on, let me do this, and then I'm going to try to answer your question. So I don't want to leave you confused at all. So hold on, you guys. Here is my link. That's a good question. Create a proper refer, make it first. Say create, refer a friend. Oh, I'm so blind. Do this. Okay, here's my little link. Oh, hold on. I'm supposed to click on this button. Okay, I'm going to drop it in the chat, you guys. Once I find the chat again, I have all these tabs open. Stop share. Okay, here's the tab. Here's my PropWire link. It's in the chat. That's the PropWire link if y'all want to sign up. It's free. But y'all can sign up, use my referral code. And I think you get so many for like 5,000 skip traces. So click on that link and then save it. Don't worry, I'll send out an email tomorrow with the replay in it. I'll try to put the links in the email that I send out tomorrow. So y'all have the links. What I wanted to, and y'all go to bed if y'all gotta go to bed, because y'all some troopers, y'all hanging on in here. Just put the phone next to the pillow if you need to, and just listen with your ears and not with your eyes. So
That's how I work sometimes. So yeah.
so what I wanted to say is, okay, y'all can still see my screen, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so again, this is Nashville's foreclosures. I was talking about at the beginning of this, how to find public notices. And I know you're like, Ashley, where are you going with this? The public notice, here's what they are. If your name is on this list, forgive me. I was not trying to put your business out like that. If I click on this, now I don't think y'all can see that. Hold on. Let me make sure. Can y'all see this little pop-up that just popped up on my
Yeah.
screen?
The ledger.
Yeah. Can you
Yes.
see that?
Yes.
So once you click on this, if you look at the instrument number, this instrument number will line up with your county. If you go to your county records and deeds website, this number will line up with it. Like you can put, and I know y'all are like, Ashley, what? Hold on. Let me make this because I don't want y'all to be confused. Hold on. I'm about to show you something so you'll understand. And this is what
I'm following you, but to give backstory onto why I asked that question for maybe some other investors, there are different types of foreclosures.
right,
Bank foreclosures are treated differently than government foreclosures, like from unpaid taxes.
right,
Government foreclosures supersede any bank mortgage. So if you get a property that was foreclosed from a government, someone not paying their taxes, that's truly having something that's free and clear because it supersedes the bank mortgage lien.
Right.
So that's why I'm trying to see if in this new prop wire system, if it distinguishes between the two, because my goal is to chase tax lien foreclosures as opposed to bank foreclosures.
Got you. Got you. Oh, and that's a good one because I don't think PropWire filtered tax at all. I didn't see that as an option, you know. When I was on PropWire, I didn't even notice that they don't put tax liens, but that's like Service Link, that's your county tax list because I just pulled our tax list yesterday. So here in Shelby County, they do tax liens once a quarter. Our tax sales are every quarter. And so they usually release that list 30 days before it comes out. Do you know this site? Just in case. This is for tax people. Do you know what? I didn't catch your name. I'm sorry. I don't want you to think I didn't.
Oh no, my
Leah?
name is Leah. It's okay. I joined in late 'cause I'm also working. So
No,
apologies.
no, you're good. Leah, I don't know if you know or anybody else. Parcel Dream. Have y'all heard of this site? They show tax sales, tax liens ahead
No,
of
can you put that
time.
in the chat or something? Because I've
Yep,
never
I
heard that
sure
site
will.
before.
Y'all go check this site out. You're welcome, Joan from Texas. There it is, parceldream.com. Here in Shelby County, our tax liens come out 30 days before the sale. They had the property list out like 2-3 months ahead of the sale. So it gives you a jump on what's going to be on the tax sale for people who are interested in that. Parcel Dream, I dropped it in the chat.
Thank
I
you. Is that
put
just for your county or is that like nationwide?
nationwide.
Oh,
Nationwide.
okay. Great.
Um,
Thank you so much.
absolutely. And can y'all see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
So deed auctions across the country, liens. It looks like they do deeds, liens, auctions, and certificates. So I should have put that in the slide. So look, y'all got a little nugget because y'all stayed a little later.
Can you put that at the beginning so I can screenshot it?
Oh, sure. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I don't even know what I did with the site. Can y'all see my screen or no?
Yeah, yeah, I can see.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell me what you want me to do so you can screenshot.
Um, no, I'm trying to see what site that is right
Oh,
here.
I put it in the chat too. Parcel Dream.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Parceldream.com.
got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
So, okay, you guys, it is almost 11 o'clock. That means it's tomorrow on the East Coast. So everybody on the East Coast, y'all are, tomorrow. Thanks for staying late. Who knew we was going to be here till New Year's? Who knew this masterclass was going to go that long? Happy New Year. I'm just kidding, you guys. But here is the link for everything that I talked about. I'll drop it in the chat again. And don't forget the replay will be up tomorrow. Hold
Now,
on.
would that go to, how would I get that? Would that go to my email?
Tell me what? The replay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna send out an email tomorrow. I'm just gonna kind of upload it and edit it and cut out the very beginning when I was, yapping. And then I'll send it in an email. It'll be on YouTube. All my past master classes, you guys, are on YouTube. They're for free. Just look under videos and you can see every master class I've done and go through and watch it. But no, you'll get an email. And
Okay.
yes, so be on the lookout for that, you guys. So y'all, I guess that's
Thanks.
it.
Thanks, Ashley. And
You're welcome.
did you say you were in, where you at?
Memphis.
Memphis. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna come through Memphis, and somebody told me to drive another car if I'm gonna be coming up in Memphis. No, I'm serious. They told they to- they told me,
I'm
they said,
laughing
listen, don't.
because I know you serious. No, so
Yeah, they told me, listen. They say, listen, you don't draw no attention to yourself. Do not drive that car. Go drive your truck or one of the other cars.
yes.
And
So
I listened, but I told them
yeah.
I'm from Gary, Indiana, so I ain't nothing I ain't seen before.
Yeah. So yeah, Memphis, yeah, we have that reputation, but we got great real estate prices, you guys. The Wall Street Journal said we were the #1 investors playground, I think a couple years ago, because our real estate is so much cheaper. Y'all know 60% of Memphis rents. 60%.
Wow.
So we have a
Wow.
huge rental market in Memphis and Shelby County. And real estate is cheap, so you can buy a property and rent it out for a great amount, honestly. So, yes.
Hey, Ashley,
Yes.
Miami, Florida's looking good. You need to come on down.
I know. I told them I want to auction there. They were like, "You want to go to Miami?" I'm like, "Make that 6-hour drive or however to Miami to auction."
That's
So
all right. I'll meet you.
I said I need to get my my beach property for $22.17. You know what I mean? Bank owned on the beach. You know, look, we play in limbo. How low can you go? $23.17. So we'll see. But yes, okay, you guys, y'all know where to find me. Your agent Ashley at gmail.com. Replays will be out. I'm on Instagram at Your Agent Ashley. I'm on YouTube, Your Agent Ashley, you know. So, all right, you guys. If I don't see y'all, Happy New Year.
Thank you, Ashley.
Happy New Year. Thank you
Thank
for this,
you.
and thank you for the extra
Thanks,
nugget.
Ashley.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great stuff. Thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all better
Thank
take
you. See you later.
Thank
govern
you.
yourselves accordingly.
Everyone be blessed. Have a
See
great
ya.
night. Happy holidays.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.